Su Jinhwan is a beautiful girl, but her life is full of hardships. Growing up with her parents living separately, she has to endure the schemes and jealousy from her stepmother and half-sister. But one drunken night, she loses control and sleeps with Huo Li-chen, the heir to Huo Corporation. This has entangled their lives inextricably. Between budding feelings and unexpected calculations, can they hold hands and get through the storm? A love story mixed with drama, sweet but also full of twists and turns. Let us follow Lisa Manhwa together. A good morning, at a large hotel. The hotel room scene is messy, with clothes scattered all over the place. Jinhwan is still drowsy, moaning, "My head hurts so much." Then, she reached out to rub her aching temples. Suddenly, hearing the sound of running water, Jinhwan jumped up. "Why is there a—" She sat up abruptly, a thought flashing through her mind. A man, Su Jinhwan, the eldest daughter of the Su family. In a daze, Jinhwan recalled her memories. "What happened? I only remember." She tried to recall the scene last night. "Last night I attended a schoolmate's birthday dance party at the hotel and accidentally drank a glass of fruit juice with alcohol. My alcohol tolerance is very poor, a little alcohol, and I get drunk." At that time, Jinhwan staggered down the hotel hallway. Her whole body swayed, as if she was about to fall. Suddenly, Jinhwan fell into a tall man's arms. The person opposite whispered, "Careful." Under the influence of alcohol, Jinhwan looked up at the person blankly. "You are handsome." Then she raised her hand and touched his body. "Your body is amazing." The man immediately warned, "Girl, you are playing with fire." At this time, his shirt buttons were wide open, and Jinhwan pressed close to him with her legs. He also cooperated, gently holding her ankle. Suddenly, Jinhwan forcefully loosened the other person's tie. In an instant, she had gained the upper hand. Then, Jinhwan gently touched his abs. "Hey?" His voice was a little hurried. "Do you know what you are doing?" The corner of her mouth slightly curved up, and she replied, "Touching you. Can't you feel it?" With that, Jinhwan kissed the man's lips without hesitation. In just a moment, the two were entangled. The other party had now taken the initiative, kissing even deeper. "Girl, relax a little." Ending the recollection, she rubbed her forehead helplessly. "Oh my God, I knocked down a man last night." Then, Jinhwan reached out for her underwear, thinking to herself, "I have to leave this place quickly, otherwise." Suddenly, the door opened, and a person slowly walked out. She was startled and fell to the ground. "Ah." After a while, Jinhwan cautiously poked her head up. He only had a towel around his waist, and indifferently asked, "You are awake, Huo Li-chen, the heir to Huo Corporation." She immediately burrowed into the quilt, her voice a little embarrassed. "You are not allowed to come over here." Not long after, Jinhwan put on her clothes and dared to crawl out of the quilt. She turned to look at Li-chen, who was focusing on something. Suddenly, he turned around and glanced at Jinhwan. Then, Li-chen held up a check in front of her. "Your technique is too bad, but seeing you made me happy all night. Consider this your reward." Jinhwan was a little surprised by his words. Seeing her silence, Li-chen frowned and asked, "You think it is too little?" Suddenly, Jinhwan grabbed the bag on the table. She took out a coin and retorted his criticism. "Your technique is too bad. It made my back and shoulders ache and my legs cramped. But seeing you stayed with me all night. This is the fee for sleeping with you." With that, Jinhwan let go, and the coin fell to the ground. Li-chen looked at her incomprehensibly. Jinhwan ignored him and walked away proudly. She did not forget to slam the door shut, bang. Once outside, she shyly covered her face. "My first time is gone, and I was mistaken for a prostitute. Luckily, I am not gentle," I retorted. Meanwhile, Li-chen was still stunned by Jinhwan's actions. He happily held the check tightly in his hand, his tone a little expectant. "Girl, you have successfully attracted my attention." At this time, Jinhwan was still blaming herself. "Drinking ruins everything. I still have to go to the hospital today to pay for my younger brother's medicine." Lost in thought, she walked to another place. Suddenly, a loud voice echoed, "Su Jinhwan." Two hands rushed over quickly. The water under the lake immediately splashed up. She struggled to get her head out of the water and asked angrily, "Who is it?" Qingwan was on the shore, with a smug expression, crossing her arms and said, "Sister, you are not careful at all. How did you fall into the lake?" "She is Su Qingwan, Su Jinhwan's half-sister," she continued to mock. "The water is very cold down there. Hurry up and come up." With that, she reached out to Jinhwan. "Sister," Hurry up and grab my hand. I will pull you up. She looked up at Xinhuan, smiling triumphantly. Jinhuan smoothed her wet hair, her eyes coldly looking at her. Then she reached out and pulled Xinhuan's arm hard. Ah! Immediately afterwards, Xinhuan fell straight into the pool. Then Jinhuan used her hand to forcefully press her head into the water. Xinhuan struggled. Help! Finally, she smiled with satisfaction. Jinhuan grabbed her hair and pulled her up. She immediately screamed, "Ah!" Xinhuan looked at her in surprise, coughing, "Ah, cough, cough, cough." Jinhuan smiled cheerfully and replied, the feeling of breathing being taken away little by little, empty lungs. Are you happy? At this time, the people on the shore reacted. Xinhuan, are you okay? Hurry up and come up. Just then, Jinhuan grabbed her hair from behind. She immediately screamed, "Ah!" Xinhuan shouted loudly, "So Jinhuan, what else do you want to do? Cough, cough, cough." Jinhuan whispered in her ear, "Don't be so excited. I do not want to do anything. Just want to give you a warm reminder." She gently warned, "Don't play such childish and meaningless games in the future." Speaking of which, Jinhuan tightened her grip. If there is another time, my hand may not let go so quickly. Finally, she smiled triumphantly and left. Xinhuan looked at Jinhuan's back and scolded angrily. "Su Jinhuan, just wait. I am not done with you." The sun was already high. Jinhuan walked on the street, soaked all over. Everyone around her focused their attention on her. Wow, so beautiful. While Jinhuan was shivering from the cold, the whispers continued. Is she an artist? So beautiful. Jinhuan lamented. So cold, sneeze. Suddenly a coat was draped over her. Lai Chen appeared before her, coldly saying, "If you want to be seen by others, you can refuse my coat." Suddenly he glanced down. Jinhuan immediately panicked. Thank you for your coat. If we meet again, I will return it to you." Suddenly he made a suggestion. "Where are you going? I will take you." She remembered the old things and was confused. Last night, so embarrassed. Remembering the intimate scene of the two, Jinhuan shyly refused, "Thank you, no need." She hurriedly left. "Bye, goodbye," but was grabbed by the arm. She was stunned by Lai Chen's actions. Then he raised her chin, making her shy and her heart beat wildly. What exactly does he want to do? He stroked Jinhuan's lips and teased, "Your scent awakens my desire. I want to continue." She tilted her head to avoid him, scolding inwardly. Damn, after a whole night he still does not feel enough. But on the surface, she still politely said, "Last night was because I was drunk. Everyone is an adult. I won't take it to heart. You do not take it to heart either. I think we should not have any connection anymore, okay?" With that, Jinhuan hurriedly pushed Lei Chen away. "I have things to do. I will go first. See you later." She turned away. "Cough? I think it is better not to see you again." At this time, Jinhuan ran away, leaving Lei Chen staring blankly after her. Lai Chen crossed his arms and watched her figure, unconsciously smiling. The Su family. What a coincidence. At this time, Jinhuan was sitting in a taxi. She said anxiously, "Driver, go to the central hospital." In her heart, she was trying to calm herself. "My heart is beating too fast. Too embarrassing." A moment later, at the hospital, a voice sounded, "Miss, the balance in your bank card is insufficient. You can choose another payment method." Jinhuan was startled when she heard this. What? Impossible? She swiped again to try. The cashier awkwardly returned the card to her. "Miss, I am very sorry. The balance in your bank card is indeed insufficient. Please check carefully and come back later." Jinhuan suspiciously took the card. "Okay." She checked the card, then exclaimed in confusion, "Impossible." Jinhuan looked up at the computer screen. Account balance information. Account balance, 9 yuan and 90 fen. Available balance, 9 yuan and 90 fen. Transfer. Withdrawal. She recalled in confusion. When Grandpa passed away, he clearly established a maintenance fund for me, and living expenses would be transferred to me every month. She began to worry in her heart. My younger brother's leukemia requires him to take medicine every day. Once he stops taking medicine, the consequences are unimaginable. Unable to bear it, Jinhuan pursed her lips and frowned. "You people are challenging my limits." At the same time, at a large mansion. As soon as she entered, Jinhuan immediately asked, "Where's my dad?" The maid immediately replied but hurriedly stopped her. "The master is in the study, entertaining guests, Miss Beanie. Do not." Suddenly someone appeared, loudly, "Hey, stop." It turned out to be Su Furen, Su Jinhuan's stepmother. She arrogantly said, The master is in the living room discussing business with distinguished guests. Do not disturb him. Go back to your room. Jinhwan was immediately unhappy, resolutely replying to her, Get out of the way. I have something very important to find my dad. Sufuren was not someone to be trifled with, immediately retorting, Whatever it is, wait until the master comes out to say it. Get out of here. Do not stand here and embarrass others. Jinhwan was still very determined. I want to go in. Can you stop me? Provoked, Sufuren angrily wanted to use force, while uttering insults, You lowly thing with no education. Is that your attitude? But she easily held her hand tightly. Then she challenged, Dare to hit me and see. Sufuren was caught out and angry. Oh my god, you lowly thing will be struck by lightning. What do you want to do? Let go, let me go. Just when it was dramatic, someone came and blamed. Don't you know there are distinguished guests in the room? Then he stepped forward and scolded. It is noisy and chaotic here. What kind of system is this? Su Zhenxiang, Su Jinhuan's biological father. Sufuren saw him and pretended to be weak and flattering Lao Ye. I told her you were entertaining distinguished guests in the room. She still insisted on coming in. Jinhuan stood opposite and said directly, Dad, did you stop my living expenses from the maintenance fund? That is the money I used to treat my younger brother. Hearing this, Jinggong was angry, snapping, What does that karma have to do with me? The child your mother remarried and gave birth to? You still want me to care about his life and death? And you have already graduated, you can be self-reliant. In order to motivate you to work hard, lest you lose your will to play, I have decided to temporarily stop sending you living expenses. Jinhuan said helplessly, I do not need you to care about his life and death. I just want to get back what I should have. Xinghuan came from afar with a gentle look. What is wrong, sister? There are guests at home. If you make such a fuss, others will see it and embarrass our Su family. Xingxiang agreed. Xinghuan is still sensible. Then he began to persuade Su Jinhuan, Do not say any more. My heart is decided. It won't change. The maintenance fund will start to stop paying your living expenses from this month until you get married. Jinhuan was very uncomfortable hearing this, Dad. Absolutely not. Suddenly, Qingwan tripped, and the coffee cup in her hand flew out. Ah! To Jinhuan's surprise, Qingwan revealed a satisfied look. The coffee was poured directly on her, but fortunately she quickly pulled up her clothes to cover it. Qingwan pretended to be remorseful, sister. Sorry, I just slipped. I did not do it on purpose. Jinhuan frowned, disdainfully. TCH. Somewhere a voice sounded again. Quickly get burn medicine here. Hearing this, she was surprised. You. Seeing Lai Chen's appearance, Jinhuan wondered, Why are you here? He did not answer, immediately held her wrist. Lai Chen was a little angry at this time. Didn't you hear burn medicine? Lai Chen's gentleness made Jinhuan slightly stunned and thought, he. At this time, Jinhuan continued to pretend to say, Sister, sorry, I really did not do it on purpose. Jinhuan pulled her hand out of Lai Chen's and said, Whether it is intentional or unintentional, only you know. Qingwan's eyes were tearful, pretending to be weak, and begged, Sister, I really did not do it on purpose. If you do not believe me, you can hit me. Hearing this, Jinhuan slapped Qingwan hard. Seeing this, Sufuren angrily scolded, Jinhuan, you are crazy. Qingwan has already apologized to you. She did not do it on purpose. You still hit her. Are you a human being? Qingwan pretended to be pitiful and fell into her mother's arms, sobbing. Hoo. Zhengxiang also spoke in defense. Jinhuan, you are too much. She strongly retorted. She offered her face and begged me to hit her. I just did as she wished. Witnessing this scene, Lai Chen secretly felt surprised about Jinhuan, this girl. At this time, Jinhuan once again tried to demand justice. Dad, I really need this money. I do not want to turn against you, but if necessary, I will ask the law to intervene. Sufuren pretended to shed tears when she heard this. Lao Ye, look at the good daughter you gave birth to. She wants to report you. Hearing this, Zhengxiang angrily scolded. You are really an uneducated daughter. I did this for your own good. I will ask someone to transfer the money for this month to you, but from next month, you must be self-reliant. After listening, Jinhuan took off her coat and politely said to Lai Chen, Sorry, I dirtied your coat. I will wash it clean and return it to you. Then his pupils glanced slightly. In Lai Chen's eyes, she walked away proudly with her long curly hair. Seeing them talking, Zhengxiang wondered, Hu Shao, do you know my daughter Jinhuan? He only answered a vague but meaningful sentence. Close relationship? The servant had arrived at this time. Huo Shao, the burn medicine you need is here. Then he turned and left. Jing Huan pursed her lips tightly, thinking with jealousy, Su Jin Huan, you slut. She was so angry that she trembled, thinking harshly, don't think that just because you slept with Huo Shao he will be yours, from small to large, as long as it is something I want. I have never failed to get it. At this time, Jin Huan had returned to her room and gently closed the door. Suddenly the door was touched hard by someone's hand, causing it to stop. Seeing Lai Chen coming to her place, Jin Huan was slightly frightened. What else do you want to do? He raised the bottle of medicine in his hand and said, you are in your house, what else can I do? Jin Huan retreated, reaching out towards Lai Chen. Giving me the burn medicine is enough. However, Lai Chen offered, I will help you. She immediately refused, no, but suddenly Lai Chen pressed her against the wall. Jin Huan looked up at him. Has anyone ever told you, you are very overbearing? Lai Chen reached out and pulled her waist. Then he lowered his head and said softly, I am overbearing, but I have to look at the person. Jin Huan turned her face away and sighed, it seems I am too unlucky. Lai Chen raised her chin, his pupils still not wavering. You should say it is your luck. Hearing this, Jin Huan was stunned. You. Then suddenly Lai Chen picked her up, causing her to scream in panic. Put me down, you bastard, put me down. The sunlight shone into the room. At this time, Jin Huan was forcibly lying on the bed by Lai Chen. She angrily shouted, you, what do you want to do? He approached her and teased, what do you think I want to do? Not letting it rest, Jin Huan angrily shouted again, you bastard, do not mess around. I will call the police. I won't be polite with you. Hearing this, Lai Chen only smiled lightly. Oh. Then, his hand gently brushed on her arm and said teasingly, I am really looking forward to how you won't be polite with me. Jin Huan's heart was beating rapidly at this time. Then, Lai Chen turned and sat down next to her, seriously saying, next time if anyone dares to do this to you, I will definitely not let that person go. Jin Huan was embarrassed at this time, and thought, so it is just applying medicine. I thought he wanted to do something to me again. Looking at Lai Chen gently and meticulously applying the medicine, her heart beat wildly again. Jin Huan's cheeks blushed unconsciously, thinking in her heart, damn, when this monster is serious, he is extremely handsome. But at this time, Xing Wan was secretly peeking from outside. She was angry and jealous. Why is it Huo Shao again? I am the one who deserves to be his wife. After applying the medicine, Lai Chen gently stroked Jin Huan. You are tired all night. You should sleep. Try to rest. Hearing this, Jin Huan shyly avoided him. Don't say any more. Then Lai Chen said coldly, my company has things to do. I am leaving. Just waiting for this, Jin Huan seized the reason, happily agreeing, right, work is more important. Lai Chen was confused by her joyful reaction. This girl. Seeing that Lai Chen had left, Jin Huan felt relieved and sighed. Phew, finally gone. Suddenly, Lai Chen stopped. Jin Huan turned around, worriedly wondering, why did you stop? Is there anything else? He turned slightly and said, Huo Lai Chen, my name. Hearing this, she was a little dazed. Huo Li Chen, this name sounds familiar, I have heard it somewhere. Then a few seconds later, Jin Huan was startled and screamed, Huo Li Chen, the man I thought was a gigolo I slept with all night. She leaned back on the bed, her whole body stiff. It is also the heir to Huo Corporation. Suddenly the phone had a notification. Your bank account has just received 25,000 yuan. The current balance is 25,00990 fen. She looked at her phone, her face full of worry. Fortunately, the money has been transferred, otherwise my younger brother would be done for. But what about next month's medical expenses? However, Jin Huan quickly regained her spirits. You people just make it difficult for me. If you can't kill me, consider yourselves losers. Then she changed her clothes and prepared to leave the house. When Jin Sheng came, Jin Huan, you, and Huo Shao. The corner of Jin Huan's mouth slightly twitched, and then she frankly replied, Ha! I and him have nothing to do with each other. You want to borrow my relationship to curry favor with him. Forget about it. Hearing this, Zhang Sheng angrily scolded, You! Why do you talk like that? I am caring about you. Jin Huan no longer kept her politeness, retorting, You really love me to the point of surprise. I thought there was not even the word care in your dictionary. Zhen Shang said uncomfortably, You! What kind of attitude is that? At the hospital, a voice sounded, Young Master Xiao Yuan's sister, recently there has been a suitable bone marrow match for Xiao Yuan. The attending doctor announced, The surgery cost is 500,000. You can go home and raise the money. Surgery can be arranged next month. Hearing that large amount of money, Jin Huan was a little sad. I will go home and discuss it with my family. Jin Huan stood outside the ward and choked. Xiao Yuan. Her face could not hide her worry. I will definitely find a way to earn money for your surgery. It won't be long before you can recover. Xiaoyan, you have to be patient a little longer. Then Jin Huan took a deep breath and took out her phone to dial something. Phew. When the other end of the line just picked up, Jin Huan said, Nuan Yu, help me find a date. The kind that is eager to get married. After meeting, we can immediately go register for marriage. In her heart, she thought, didn't Su Zhengsheng want me to get married before handing over the inheritance from Grandpa to me? I will get married immediately and show him. 3 days later, she was sipping a glass of water when she heard someone calling, Miss Su, hello? The other party just came up and introduced. I am Yang Zifeng, this is Su Jinhuan's date. Jinhuan politely replied, Brother Yang, hello. Zifeng sat down opposite her and praised. The real person is even more beautiful than in the photo. Your skin is really white. It is really the model I like. During this time, Lai Chen was also at the cafe he sat behind, quietly listening to everything he said. Miss Su, your figure is so beautiful, even more beautiful than the famous celebrities. Jinhuan did not care. Straight to the point, Brother Yang, you must be very clear about my requirements. Zifeng was very confident, lifting his glasses and declaring, my family has a room. You will not suffer any loss marrying me, but you have to support my business. I heard that your dowry is shares in our company. I hope you can invest this money in my business. Hearing his words, she was speechless. Jinhuan frowned uncomfortably, but he still continued to say, my parents have no income now. I hope the money in your maintenance fund can be enough for them to retire. My car is a bit outdated. Your family is so rich. It is best to have a dowry of a car. It does not need to be too expensive. About 1 million will do, she asked directly. Do you have any other requirements? Zifeng immediately said a string of things. Our family is relatively traditional, so I hope we can have at least 2 sons. Jinhuan wondered, what if we have several babies who are all girls? Hearing this, Li Chen stood up uncomfortably. His words continued as he confidently approached, echoing Zifeng's sentiment. Naturally, we must continue to procreate. The Yang family cannot die out in our generation. At the same time, he was also approaching. Unable to bear it any longer, Jinhuan stood up and slammed the table, scolding, what do you take me for, a sow? After eating a few peanuts, you are spouting nonsense here. Get out! Suddenly, she glanced over and saw Lai Chen's arrival, surprising her. Damn, why is he here? How much of what Yang said just now did he hear? Afterward, Jinhuan became embarrassed, wanting to crawl into a hole and disappear. Lai Chen suddenly stroked her head gently. My love, what a coincidence. Do you mind if I sit next to you? Those words caused Jinhuan to immediately spit her coffee toward the opposite side. Jinhuan apologized hastily. Cough. Cough. I am sorry. I did not mean to. Zifeng, with coffee splattered on his face, was extremely displeased. You are so rude. Who is this man? What is your relationship? Why is he calling you, my love? Lai Chen simply smiled, while Jinhuan retorted irritably, I do not know him. He grabbed a napkin to wipe his face, annoyed. You! Suddenly, he looked at Lai Chen and recognized him. Young Master Huo. Seeing this, Zifeng immediately changed his attitude, standing up amiably. So it is you. Greetings. I am Yang Zifeng. I had the pleasure of meeting you at Deng's birthday party a year ago. I admire your business acumen very much. I hope you can guide me. Lai Chen did not bother to pay attention, ignoring his outstretched hand. He politely pulled out a chair for Lai Chen and said respectfully, Oh, look at me, young Master Huo, please have a seat. Afterward, Zifeng beamed. Waiter, another glass of water here. With Lai Chen present, he turned to Jinhuan, flattering, Miss Su, so you are a friend of young Master Huo. A friend of yours is a friend of mine. However, Jinhuan was not happy at all. Under the table, Lai Chen's leg rubbed against Jinhuan's, making her uncomfortable. What the hell, this lecher? He spoke with an air of dominance. You are so funny. We have such a close relationship, more than just friends. Hearing this, Zifeng interjected. That is wonderful. Miss Su, I am very satisfied with you. I can agree to your request and register for marriage immediately. This time, Lai Chen kicked Jinhuan's leg forcefully again. This made her angrily stand up and slam the table, shouting, Shh, shameless. Zifeng thought Jinhuan was scolding him and explained, Miss Su, I sincerely want to marry you. I am not a rogue. I forgive your rude words and actions. Hearing this, Jinhuan retorted, You are sincere. Before even getting married, you are eyeing my family's assets, wanting me to support your parents, and wanting me to change your car. You see me as a tool for procreation. Hearing her subsequent words made him smile contentedly. If you want to eat this, go find a sugar mama. This young lady is not up for it. Then Jin Huan concluded, get out of my sight. She scolded unhappily, get out of the way. Zifeng began to persuade her with hypocritical reasons. Miss Su, it is an era of gender equality now. You want to marry me without contributing anything. Just wanting to see me as an ATM. With such flat chest, even if you take out money, I would not bother to accept it. You deserve not being able to marry. Hearing these words, Jin Huan could not hold back anymore, and poured the entire cup of coffee on him. Is your master Erlang Shen? Why do you know how to bark? A smart dog does not block the way. Zifeng cursed unhappily. Bitch, how dare you call me a dog in front of everyone? She left angrily, telling him, don't just say I am scolding you in front of others. If you did not hear clearly, I can even engrave you on a tombstone. Meeting someone as uncultured as you is truly bad luck. Hearing this, Zifeng roared, stop right there. This suit cost me tens of thousands. You compensate me for the clothes before you can leave. Jin Huan, just as she reached the door, found it ridiculous. Compensate you with your life, you psycho. He still tried to pull her back. Stop, hey. At this moment, Chen Lai stepped forward, patted Zifeng on the shoulder, and threatened softly. How many lies do you have, you dare to scold my woman? Hearing this, he was shocked. What? She is your woman, young Master Huo. I did not know she was your woman. Please forgive me, it hurts too much. He frowned and warned him. If you dare to scold her one more time, I will chop your head off. Got it? Then Li Chen pushed Zifeng to the floor. He could only admit his mistake. I won't dare again. Then he was pushed to the ground by Chen Li in pain. Outside, Jin Huan said reproachfully, Nuan Yu, how could you introduce me to such an uncultured person? She was a little upset. You want to harm me and throw me into the fire, Nuan? You on the other end of the line explained pitifully, your requirements are too special. There are not many men who agree to meet and immediately register for marriage. I will help you ask my aunt to see if there are any men suitable for you among her matchmaking candidates. Hearing this, Jin Huan sadly confided, if I was not at the end of my rope, I would not bet my own marriage. Nuan Yu also comforted, I understand. I have been saving 50,000 yuan over the years by, say, skimping on food and clothing. You can tell me anytime you need it. Jin Huan was a little touched again. Nuan Yu, thank you. After saying that, she pressed the hang-up button. Jin Huan was walking, and turned into an alley. Suddenly she felt something strange. Someone is following me. Jin Huan began to tense up. Could it be a robber? Thinking this, Jin Huan clenched her bag tightly. Immediately afterward, she mustered all her courage, grabbed the bag, turned around, and was about to hit the person. What do you want to do? Jin Huan's hand, still in the air, was suddenly grabbed. It turned out that the person following her was Lai Chen. He leaned close to her again. After one night of marital bliss, you are treating your man like this. Jin Huan exclaimed in surprise, Huo Li Chen. She was angry and embarrassed, scolding, Are you sick? Why are you haunting me? What do you want? Contrary to Jin Huan's panic, Lai Chen said softly, For the past 3 days, I have been having insomnia. Hearing this, Jin Huan was confused. What does your insomnia have to do with me? This time, Lai Chen pressed Jin Huan even closer. Of course it is related to you. You are the one who caused it. I have to demand compensation. Jin Huan turned her face away to avoid him. You rascal, you scoundrel! But he lifted her chin. Then Lai Chen placed a kiss on her lips, making her heart beat wildly. Jin Huan's heart was secretly panicking. Lai Chen took her hand and placed it on his left chest. Her mind was in a mess right now. His domineering breath makes me unable to breathe. Jin Huan put her arm around his neck and enjoyed it. His kiss is like being addicted to a sweet poison, making me unable to escape. The two people's lips were intertwined. Suddenly, a child passing by saw this scene and asked curiously, Mom, look, what are that uncle and aunt doing? The mother gently explained, Don't look, it is just monsters fighting. Hearing this, the child said excitedly, Are monsters fighting very fun? Do Mom and Dad like monsters fighting too? The mother was caught and was a little embarrassed. Do not say any more. Let us go. At this moment, Jin Huan shyly pushed him away slightly and thought, How embarrassing. This person really has not stopped. Afterward, she mustered all her strength to push Lai Chen away. I can't push him away at all. Unable to bear it any longer, Jin Huan bit his lip. Chup. He frowned uncomfortably in pain. Jin Huan said angrily, wiping her mouth. Huo Li Chen, you are a hooligan. Li Chen reached out to grab her hand. However, Jin Huan quickly pulled her hand away. Then she ran away quickly, scoundrel. He reached out and touched his lips, while watching her back. Su Jin Huan. Li Chen's lips were bruised, but he was still happy. You are the woman I have set my sights on. Li Chen put his hands in his pockets and said confidently, You think you can escape? At the New Year's Eve nightclub, a colleague's voice gently called her back. Xiaosu, room 606 is calling for wine. Please bring it over there quickly. Sister. He also thoughtfully instructed Jin Huan carefully. Inside are all rich people. If you serve well, you will definitely get a lot of tips. She smiled and nodded. Yes, thank you, sister. She took the tray of wine with joy, sister. He is so good, knowing that I have to come to the nightclub to work and earn money for my younger brother, so she often takes care of me. A knock on the door echoed with a greeting. Hello, your wine has arrived. As soon as the door opened, the sound of loud music and laughter filled the air. Jin Huan smelled the scent in this place and coughed softly. The smell of medicine and alcohol is too strong. She slowly walked to the table and arranged the 2 bottles neatly. I should quickly put the wine down and leave here. Suddenly, an arm wrapped around Jin Huan's waist, startling her. She jumped up and hit the man behind her. Ah! He was arrogant and immediately caused trouble. Are you a new person? Do you understand things? Do not you want to work anymore? Jin Huan leaned against the wall and quickly apologized. I am sorry. I did not mean to. I apologize to you. I am sorry. In her heart, Jin Huan hoped that he would soften his tone. I can't let him make a big deal out of it. At that moment, a mean girl interjected, Wow, what does she think young Master Chu is? Qing Wan walked to his side and added fuel to the fire. Is it over with a casual apology? She recognized her. It was Su Qing Wan. Jin Huan frowned unhappily. She is also here. She had to take a step forward to mediate. Sir, what do you want then? Young Master Chu smiled contemptuously. What do I want? He took out a stack of money from his pocket. Then he threw it into the air and forced Jin Huan to do as he said. My money fell carelessly. You have to help me pick it up one by one. She glanced at the money falling in front of her with resentment. Otherwise, do not even think about leaving this door. Qing Wan did not miss the opportunity and deliberately made things difficult for Jin Huan. Also, you can't pick it up with your hands. Kneel on the ground, like a dog gnawing a bone. Use your mouth to pick it up, one by one. The people around chimed in to tease. Right, good idea. Young Master Chu and Qing Wan still have many ideas. Hurry up and kneel down. Pick up the money with your mouth. She laughed contemptuously and took out her phone to record this moment. Bitch, you also have today. In her heart, she had her own plans. I have to record your farce and send it to Huo Li Chen to see if he still wants to care about you. Jin Huan frowned, trying to think of a way to escape. It seems that if I do not do this, do not even dream of withdrawing completely tonight. She suddenly snatched Qing Wan's phone, and she only had time to shout, Ah, my phone! Jin Huan threatened loudly. You are not allowed to come over here, otherwise I will immediately call the police. Qing Wan cursed. Bitch, give me back my phone. She secretly thought, Su Qing Wan holding the phone has reminded me, in case of a dangerous situation, the first thing to do is to call the police. Then she smashed a bottle of wine. Whoever dares to come over here, I will cut your throat. With this... The people around her became tense, and no one dared to speak. Her face became sharp, raising the broken bottle forward. You are all noble young masters and ladies, and I only have a poor life. I am not afraid of death. If you do not believe me, then try it. She looked at them coldly. Qing Wan spoke loudly, but her legs had unconsciously retreated. She is just saying that. She does not dare. Everyone quickly catch her. Quickly beat her to death. Jin Huan sneered and dialed the number on the phone. Oh, so you think I do not dare? Then you come here, 110. I do not want to harm others. If you have the courage, then you come over here. Young Master Chu was frightened and grabbed her wrist and pushed her forward. Su Qing Wan, you were the one who called the loudest. You go over there and snatch back the phone. She cried out in panic. Number. Hearing this, he angrily slapped Qing Wan, causing her to fall to the ground. Useless thing. Young Master Chu turned around and raised his middle finger. There is not a single useful person. Then he had to curse her. You have guts. Do not let me meet you again. The person named Chu led the group away. Let us go. She lay motionless on the floor, her hair disheveled, only twitching when she called, Hey, Su Qing Wan. Jin Huan glanced at her with contempt and threw it back. Return your phone. Get out of here. Keep playing with these rich young masters. Sooner or later something will happen. Qingwan held one side of her face angrily. Su Jin Huan, you do not need to be smug. Sooner or later there will be a day I will make your eyes shine. She did not bother to care. I will wait. She left, closing the door with a bang. When Qingwan disappeared, Jin Huan fell on the chair. She breathed a sigh of relief. Looking back, she was afraid. Jin Huan tried to regulate her emotions and thought, they are so many powerful people, I will definitely suffer with them. When I go back, I should still say a word to Sister He. It must be causing her trouble again. The door of the private room suddenly opened again. She frowned and looked outside. It turned out to be Lai Chen. He walked inside chickily. Jin Huan's eyes widened in surprise. Who, Li Chen? She stood up suddenly, dazed and incomprehensible. Why, every time I am the most embarrassed, I will meet him. It is really a bad relationship. He did not say anything and approached Jin Huan, to the extent that she was forced to sit on the chair. Jin Huan asked in panic, You, what do you want to do? Lai Chen said softly, Be good, let me see. He gently touched her face worriedly. Why do you have to work in such a dangerous place? Under his gentleness, Jin Huan replied, If I do not lack money, who would like to come to this place to work? Hearing this, Lai Chen put his hand around her waist and sighed and questioned. You lack money. Why do not you accept my money? She hit him, shouting loudly. What do you take me for, a prostitute? He was stunned and did not know what to say next. In his heart he secretly denied. Of course not, but... Lai Chen looked directly into Jin Huan's eyes. If I can conquer you in that way. After thinking for a while, he opened his mouth. Then let us make a deal. Lai Chen tilted his head and smiled. Name your price. Stay with me for a month. Hearing this, Jin Huan was so angry that she clenched her fists. What do you mean is, you want to buy me like an object of yours? Seeing her angry, he immediately retracted the flippancy on his face and said seriously, You need money, I need you. You see me as your material needs. I see you as my physical needs. What is not appropriate? I can't be controlled by this girl. Just 1 month. I will definitely be bored. In his heart, he secretly thought, self-deception is to not be because of her, but to cause a wave again. The self-esteem was trampled on. Jin Huan angrily scolded, In the eyes of you rich people. Her voice was getting louder. Do you feel that as long as you have money, you can buy anything? After saying that, seeing Lai Chen stunned, she asked softly, Could it not be so? Even if she was scolded straight in the face, he only felt interested. Even being angry is so individual. I must be crazy. Seeing Lai Chen stay stunned, Jin Huan waved her hand and slapped him hard in the face. Lai Chen's face darkened, touching his painful cheek. At this moment, Jin Huan woke up suddenly, realizing that she was too angry and lost her mind. However, she proudly raised her head. I will not apologize. He raised her chin. Lai Chen gritted his teeth, saying each word, Do you want to die? Then he turned around and left, shouting loudly, Get out of here for me immediately. Jin Huan quickly left, secretly breathing a sigh of relief. You scared me to death. She walked down the stairs, patted her chest to adjust her breathing. I was so angry just now that I felt dizzy. Jin Huan's sadness has not subsided. But who told him to insult her personality, so hit harder a little bit, I do not care anymore. Continued to work at the bar. She was cleaning up at the bar, while listening to the conversation of the two girls. Young Master Huo finally ate meat. It is so exciting. Is not young Master Huo a celibate? Will he be interested in women? Finally, she could not help but be curious. What are you all talking about? A female colleague recounted, Don't you know, young Master Huo ordered the manager to find 10 hot girls for him to have fun. She asked again, Which young Master Huo? She said calmly, Huo Li Chen. This name was like a bolt from the blue for Jin Huan, Huo Li Chen. Seeing her pale face, the female colleague patted her shoulder and teased. So Su is unhappy because she was not chosen. It is okay. This time he is looking for 10 people. Next time it may be 20. Your figure is so fresh, you will definitely be chosen. Jin Huan frowned, retreating and avoiding her hand. Even if all the men in this world die, I will not like him. Disgusting. After saying that, she left. 2 female colleagues whispered to each other. What is wrong with her? She says the grapes are sour because she can't eat them. Maybe it is because she is too embarrassed. Do not care. She clenched the bottle in her hand tightly. Disgusting. In her heart, Jin Huan secretly affirmed, I knew that men are not good. Suddenly, she opened her eyes wide. Oh! In front of her was a familiar figure supporting a strange man into an office, Su Qinghuan. Then Jinhuan's eyes turned to the drunk. This man. Jinhuan vaguely felt familiar. I seem to have met him somewhere. In the brightly lit hotel room, Xiaoshuan was placed on the bed by Qinghuan, groaning, She panted and complained, What kind of body is this, so heavy? His breath reeked of alcohol, still murmuring, Drink. I want to drink alcohol. Qinghuan was rummaging through Xiaoshuan's wallet at this time. Young master, do not be impatient. Let me see first. From the wallet, she pulled out a personal ID, even if you are not the owner. Qinghuan smirked smugly, but it will definitely be useful to me later. God is helping me. Suddenly, a piece of paper fell out. Oh! She picked it up and frowned. Successful marrow donation receipt? So kind. Still donating marrow. But is not this the hospital where that little brat is? Jinhuan's face flashed with discomfort. That bitch is not afraid of falling into sin and coming to this nightclub to earn money. Could it be that the little brat needs surgery? It should not be such a coincidence. Qinghuan threw the wallet aside. Go back and find someone to ask. Then she turned her face to the bed. Next is. Then Qinghuan climbed onto the bed. On the other side, Jinhuan sighed tiredly, leaning against the wall. Too tired, but for Xiao Yuan I must try hard. At this time, sister, he brought a list. Xiao Su, next I will give you this. The list has been written completely. She looked at it once, and immediately widened her eyes. Young Master Huo wants me to deliver it. Jinhuan pursed her lips and secretly expressed her sadness. I obviously tried my best to escape from him, but in the end, I have to go to him. Thinking about it, she tried to slip away. Zhang Yi, I am sorry. I just delivered 10 trips. My legs are sore. I want to rest for a while. Please ask someone else to bring it. In her heart, she was very expressive. I do not want to see him and other girls together. But her conspiracy failed, sister. He resolutely pushed her away. Oh, I know you are hard, but young Master Huo only specified you to deliver. He is our VIP. We can't offend him. You hurry up and go. After delivering this trip, you can rest leisurely. She did not repeat this decisiveness of hers. Wait, But without waiting for Jinhuan to finish speaking, she impatiently continued. Okay, hurry up and go. She could only sigh, accepting fate. It is over. Do less trouble. Jinhuan only has one goal. Earn money more urgently. She secretly thought. In my eyes, there is only hard work to earn money. Everyone is an ordinary person. This is my job. Opening the door and walking into his room is not scary. Unexpectedly, a hand pulled Jinhuan hard, startling her. Ah! A tall man held Jinhuan tightly in his arms. She struggled violently. What do you want to do? Let me go. He slapped Jinhuan hard, his tone contemptuous. Damn, woman. Let us see how arrogant you are. Now I have to let you know the power of this young master. The slap made Jinhuan dizzy and fell to the ground. Young Master Chu licked his lips arrogantly, walking towards her while unbuttoning each button. Is it obedient this time? Jinhuan's legs were limp. She could only crawl on the floor. Help! Help! He growled. Bitch! Young Master Chu's face turned black, grabbing her hair and pulling it back. Hurt me lose face in front of so many people. You are sure to die tonight. The pain made Jinhuan darken her face, unwillingly gnashing her teeth number. Immediately she elbowed him. Get out. Young Master Chu swung his hand and hit Jinhuan, throwing her to the ground. You bitch, this young master has taken a liking to you. Is your blessing you still dare to resist? She sat up with difficulty, trying to think of a way to deal with it. I can't be destroyed in the hands of this scum man. Jinhuan took advantage of his inattention and picked up the ashtray. At the same time, he squatted down in front of her. This young master has taken a liking to a woman has never escaped before. If you are not obedient, you will be punished. Jinhuan chose the right time and smashed the ashtray on young Master Chu's head. Get out. He painfully held his forehead and roared, Ah! And she took the opportunity to escape, take this opportunity to run quickly. However, young Master Chu quickly grabbed Jinhuan's leg. His forehead was bleeding, and his eyes were red. No one has ever dared to hit me, you bitch. He held Jinhuan tightly. His eyes flashed with greed. I will not let you go. Immediately afterward, she used her knee, hitting him hard in the lower body. Young Master Chu painfully rolled to the ground. Jinhuan pointed directly at his face and scolded. I told you to let go. Did not you hear? Did your mother give birth to you, and did not teach you to respect women? I will teach you in place of your mother, you uneducated idiot. Do you think having money is so good? She also hit young Master Chu's lower body a few more times to vent her anger. Having money can arbitrarily bully others, trample on others. He was writhing and shouting, "Stop! Ah! Do not hit me!" Jinhwan's voice was getting higher and higher. "When I said no, did you stop?" Saying that, she continued to step on his lower body. "You scum! You waste!" Young Master Chu screamed miserably. "Ah!" Suddenly, the sound of footsteps came from afar. Jinhwan realized, someone is coming. Leave here. From behind her came the voice of the underlings. "Young master, what is wrong with you?" he roared. "Ah, it is that bitch. Quickly catch her back here for me." She quickly ran away. "It is over." Jinhwan looked around, trying to find a safe place. I must find a place to hide first. Seeing the person in front of her, she immediately widened her eyes in surprise. Oh my god, it is really a narrow road. He did not say anything, just pulled Jinhwan and held her tight. In the next second, without waiting for her to react, Lai Chen bent down and kissed her lips. Jinhwan stayed stunned. The sound of the two people's contact sounded ambiguous. She retreated slightly, her face blushing. You? Lai Chen interrupted. "Don't move around, or I will hand you over to them." Jinhwan cursed, her eyes avoiding. Shameless. Taking advantage of people's misfortune again. Taking advantage of me. At this time, young Master Chu's underlings had caught up. Su Jinhwan. Lai Chen held her in his arms, his eyes sharp as knives, glancing at the two of them. "Get out." Before his aura, the two of them quickly left obediently. "Young Master Huo, I am sorry. We did not know young Master Huo was here. I am sorry. We bothered you. We are leaving immediately." Jinhwan hit Lai Chen's chest repeatedly. "Huo Li Chen, why do not you let me go? They have left." Lai Chen grabbed her hand, scolding lovingly. "You are really heartless," crossing the bridge and taking down the planks. Her shoulders trembled. All the humiliation of today seemed to explode. You are all in the same gang, relying on money and power to bully others. Her tears rolled down her cheeks, making Lai Chen startled. "Are you crying?" Jinhwan did not say anything, just brushed past his shoulder. His heart was heavy, and he comforted softly. "Are you crying?" She quickly left, leaving Huo Lie Chen standing there, watching her back. On the other side, Chu Shao's group was distorting the truth and complaining. "Your nightclub's waitress, Su Jinhwan, injured our Shao. Our Chu family will settle this debt with you slowly." The manager tried to explain. "There must be a misunderstanding. Jinhwan is a weak girl. How could she seriously injure Chu Shao?" One of them threatened aggressively. "Misunderstanding. Our Shao was beaten until his head bled. Can you afford the consequences? Within 3 days, you must hand over that bitch, or we will shut you down. Let us go." Seeing the situation getting more chaotic, the manager turned to his staff and ordered, "Hurry up and find Su Jinhwan for me. Turn the whole nightclub upside down if you have to. Go, 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 yes." Jinhwan was hiding in the restroom, calming herself down. She did not expect a man like Huo Li Chen to be afraid of her tears. She looked at herself in the mirror, lost in thought. But why did she suddenly become so weak in front of that man? She had never felt like this before. What was wrong with her? While she was fixing herself up, several women suddenly entered. One of them said bitterly, "I am so angry. Such a good opportunity, and I did not even get to touch his clothes before being kicked out. What a waste, a total loss." The girl next to her chimed in, "Huo Shao's willpower is..." Hearing this, Jinhwan froze. They were the girls chosen to serve Huo Li Chen. Indeed, they were all very beautiful. Huo Li Chen was not interested in them. So did not that prove that he was actually... Realizing she was thinking too far ahead, she immediately snapped out of it. "Wait, what am I thinking? Huo Li Chen is a very dangerous man. He even made that outrageous request to be my patron." She pursed her lips, feeling confused. That kind of man had no heart at all. He just saw her as a toy to be discarded when he got bored. Why was she secretly happy just now? Jinhwan capped her lipstick. In her eyes, there was only resentment for Lai Chen. "Don't think nonsense anymore. He is just a scum man." Then, she turned around and interrupted their conversation. "You girls went to seduce him, and he did not touch any of you. Don't you think?" Jinhwan smiled triumphantly. It is not that his willpower is strong, but that he is impotent. The girls froze upon hearing this. Jinhwan awkwardly pretended to cough and turned to leave. "Ah, cough, cough, everyone. Continue talking. I will go first." As soon as she stepped out, she was face to face with someone who startled her, Huo Li Chen. Jinhwan was so surprised that her mouth dropped open. Why is he here? So he would not have heard it, right? She tried to calm down and said, "I am going to work. Please move aside." Suddenly, he reached out and lifted Jinhwan's chin. "I am impotent." Lai Chen stared at her, thinking, "It seems I was too gentle that night, which is why she dares to openly lie about me." Jinhwan forced a smile and waved her hand, trying to explain, "Huo Xiao is handsome and unrestrained, more virile than anyone else. How could you be impotent? It is just a misunderstanding. Just a misunderstanding." In her heart, she regretted it. She knew that karma from loose talk came so quickly. She would not have been so quick-tongued just now. He deliberately teased her. Really?" At this time, the people searching for Jinhwan were working hard. "Where is she? She is not here. Let us try over there." Lai Chen immediately pulled Jinhwan into his arms. She stared blankly up at him. "You..." He tried to shield Jinhwan and whispered, "Shh, I do not want to hurt you. If you do not want to be caught, do not move." She tilted her head and looked around. They were the nightclub's security guards. The Chu Xiao was still looking for her. Jinhwan said worriedly, "The nightclub's security guards want to catch me." Lai Chen ordered her, "Don't talk, follow me." The manager saw that she was being shielded by him and called out in surprise, "Huo Xiao and Xiao Su." He said anxiously, "Huo Xiao, you can have any kind of girl you want. Su Jinhwan is my subordinate. She has caused trouble." He was extremely flustered. Su Jinhwan was Huo Xiao's person. What was going on? He could not offend Huo Xiao for Chu Xiao's sake. "I am just an employee, please let me go." Lai Chen frowned unhappily. "What do you mean? Do I need your permission to take someone with me?" The manager hurriedly explained in fear, "I would not dare. It is just that Chu Xiao is determined to have this woman. If you take her away, we really won't be able to explain it. Huo Xiao, please be generous and help us." Seeing the situation getting bigger and bigger, Jin Huon became flustered. It seemed that Chu Xiao's matter was a big deal. The manager wanted to hand her over to settle things smoothly. She stated frankly, "Manager, Chu Xiao attacked me first. I was just defending myself. People rushed over from behind, calling, 'Xiao Su, manager.'" Sister He and two other colleagues spoke up for Jin Huan. "Manager, Chu Xiao is very perverted. He relies on his family's money and does not respect us at all." "That is right. He always torments people and does not treat us like humans." She stepped forward and said, "Manager, you heard that too. He is used to it." Jin Huan spoke out about everyone's grievances. "We are just service staff, but we also earn our wages through our own efforts. Does that mean we have to endure humiliation?" "Sisters, am I right, sister?" he continued. "That is right, manager. I do not agree with you handing Xiao Su over to him. It is inhumane." The two girls next to her also spoke up. "We do not agree either." Lai Chen cast a surprised glance at her. It seemed that the way he looked at Jin Huan was different, sparkling and shining. This girl was definitely not a weak flower. She would not let herself suffer in any situation. At this moment, she said strongly, "Manager, you should be on our side." He picked up his phone and pressed something. "Since that is the case, I will help you one more time." Hearing this, the manager angrily scolded everyone. "Are you trying to make me angry to death? Are you going against the heavens? Chu Xiao is a powerful figure in the city. If I do not hand her over, the nightclub will be in trouble. Then all of you will be unemployed." These words silenced everyone. What the manager said was not wrong. Jin Huan fell silent, lost in thought. If she did not hand herself over, many people would lose their jobs. Did she really have to fight that scum until she was exhausted? The silence was broken when Li Chen suddenly spoke. "Just a small Chu family is enough to scare you like a dog who lost his master. You are useless. I just invested in this nightclub. Now I am the biggest shareholder here," he said sternly to the manager. "He wants someone. Tell him to come and ask me himself." The two girls next to her immediately expressed their admiration. "Wow, he directly bought shares. Huo Xiao is so handsome. With Huo Xiao backing us, see who dares to touch a hair on the nightclub. Xiao Su does not need to worry anymore." Seeing his actions, her heart beat faster than usual. She thought to herself, "What does he mean by doing this? It is not because of me, is it?" Thinking of this, Jin Huan waved her hand. No, Su Jin Huan. You can't be so self-absorbed. He must be doing it for his own face. Don't think too much." Then she turned to Lei Chen. "But, Huo Lei Chen, this guy is even more arrogant in the end." He said a little impatiently, "I do not have time to waste here. If that true guy has any more problems, tell him to come to the Huo family to find me." Immediately after, Lai Chen left. At that moment, everyone cheered happily. Great, we do not have to be afraid of Chu Xiao's dirty hands anymore. The manager flustered and ordered, Enough, everyone. Stop going crazy. Quickly return to your work positions. After observing in silence for a while, she decided to leave. The manager saw this and asked, So Jin Huan, where are you going? Jin Huan hurriedly replied, I am going out for a while. I will be back to work soon. At the parking garage, Jin Huan had chased after him to the underground parking garage. At this time, Huo Li Chen was preparing to get into his car. She called out loudly, Huo Li Chen. Even though she could no longer see him, she still politely shouted, Thank you. Hearing the voice, he glanced at her indifferently. The corners of Li Chen's lips curled slightly. Then he closed the car door and ordered, Drive. Jin Huan stood silently, watching Li Chen's car leave, feeling very grateful in her heart. If it were not for his protection, she was afraid that she would have been in serious trouble this time. She smiled happily. No matter what, thank you, Huo Li Chen. The car suddenly stopped. That girl just now was very beautiful. Anji was confused about Jin Huan's identity, but she was wearing a waitress's uniform. He leaned back and handed the documents to Li Chen. Xiao, the madam asked me to postpone your meeting tomorrow afternoon. She said the miss of the Lin family, who went abroad to study, has returned and will visit the Huo family tomorrow afternoon. He reached out to take the documents and asked An Jie, Oh, tell her the meeting is very important and cannot be postponed. Then Li Chen praised as he flipped through the documents. She is really too free. She is finding all sorts of ways to arrange blind dates for me. He said worriedly, Xiao, you can cancel it once, but you can't cancel it for life. He sighed silently in his heart. She told me to cancel it again. Every time I do these things, the madam scolds me. I am getting squeezed between this mother and son like a plywood. Anji's words were not without reason. Li Chen was silent in thought. His mind was full of thoughts. For life? Suddenly a call rang out, interrupting him. Xiao? Anji wanted to persuade him. You are not young anymore, and the madam wants to have grandchildren. Why do not you please her and find a girl who's a good match? Before he finished speaking, Li Chen slammed the documents down and replied coldly, I am not a stud that she can use to carry on the family line. Li Chen frowned sarcastically. After mating, she still wants a good match. Seeing Li Chen's sullen expression, Anji's face turned pale. He cried silently, I should have kept quiet. Suddenly Li Chen propped his chin and ordered, That is right, Xiao Shen. Help me investigate someone, Su Jin Huan. Switching scenes to another place, clothes were scattered on the floor. Xiao Xuan was still sleepy when he was awakened by crying. He rubbed his eyes uncomfortably and woke up. He suddenly realized that the sobbing was coming from right next to him. Qingwan trembled, covering herself with a blanket, sobbing. Xiao Xuan sat up in shock and asked, Who are you? Last night He tried to recall what happened last night in confusion. What is going on? I only remember drinking a lot of alcohol at the nightclub last night. I was so drunk. Qingwan looked weak and said, Last night was my first time. My family is very strict. If my father finds out, he will definitely beat me to death. Xiao Xuan suddenly blushed in front of Qingwan's delicate and pitiful appearance. He felt sorry for Qingwan having to suffer grievances, and his heart beat rapidly with emotion. Then Xiao Xuan took her hand. I am sorry. He was determined to take responsibility. I am very sorry for what happened last night. I will take responsibility. I am the Xiao of the Huo family. Huo Xiao Xuan. Let me talk to your father. Qingwan cleverly refused. No, this must never let my father know. Xiao Xuan was naively caught in her trap. She was not happy about his identity, and he felt moved. But in his heart, he secretly admired Qingwan. If it were another woman, she would have already urged me to get married. What a naive girl. Qingwan took his hand and continued to act with tears in her eyes. I am a very traditional girl, but if you really want to take responsibility for me, I hope we can start by dating. Okay, Xiao Xuan agreed without hesitation. Okay. Seeing that she had achieved her goal, she smiled happily on the surface. Thank you. My name is Su Qingwan. But in her heart, she scolded Xiao Xuan severely. What an idiot! At this time, at Jin Huan's place, loud knocking and screaming woke her up. Su Jin Huan, open the door now. Su Jin Huan, get out here, she asked sleepily. Who is making a fuss so early in the morning? She reluctantly lifted the blanket and went out. The screaming was still loud. Su Jin Huan, open the door quickly. Jin Huan recognized the voice. It was Mother Sue's. Why is she causing trouble so early in the morning? Disturbing people's beautiful dreams will be struck by lightning. Then she angrily opened the door. Disturbing other people's sweet dreams so early in the morning will be struck by lightning. She threw the pile of documents at Jin Hwan and said, "Before I get struck by lightning, you should worry about yourself first." She caught the pile of papers in surprise. "What is this?" she smiled triumphantly. "Your day has come." The more she read, the more her eyebrows furrowed. A moment later, Jin Hwan slammed the door shut. She did not react in time and shouted outside, "Su Jin Hwan!" She could not do anything but stand outside and scold like a loudspeaker. "Su Jin Hwan, you uneducated daughter. You bitch, wait to go to jail. The house you are living in. Your funds and the shares that old man left you all belong to my Chingwan inside." Jin Hwan clenched the paper tightly. The content inside. This was Kamini, a lawyer's letter from Chu Xiao, saying that she intentionally caused injury, resulting in him being unable to move. Reading this, she was a little surprised. He is paralyzed, he is so weak. But then she sighed and smiled slyly. "You are framing me, right? I am willing to play with you to the end." As she said that, she took out her phone and found someone's number. The phone was quickly connected, and an annoyed voice came out. "Good heavens, what time is it that you are calling me?" Jin Hwan excitedly put one hand up to play with her hair. "Don't be annoyed yet, Huan Yu. I am involved in a lawsuit and I need your help." Huan Yu asked curiously, "Oh, help with what? Switching to the hospital?" Someone was loudly complaining. "I am so bored." That person got so angry that he smashed several empty bottles. "There is nothing fun in this damn place. It is all because of that witch." Chu Xiao angrily drank beer non-stop. "I am so angry. It must be the old man's intention. He does not want to arrange a decent woman for me and deliberately wants to make me angry." Suddenly he realized that someone was coming. The door opened, and Jin Huan gently stepped in. "Excuse me?" She spoke in a soft and enchanting voice. "Is this Chu Xiao's hospital room?" He excitedly approached and grabbed Jin Huan's shoulder. "It is you." Chu Xiao was extremely happy. Although she had changed her makeup style, she was still insanely beautiful. Jin Huan looked flustered and pitiful. "Chu Xiao, I did not intentionally hurt you. Please do not call the police, okay? As long as you do not report me, you can tell me to do anything, and I won't resist." Just waiting for that, Chu Xiao shamelessly pulled Jin Huan towards him. "So you are scared now? Then hurry up and come and serve the Xiao." She cautiously wanted to resist. "Hey, Chu Xiao." One side of her dress slowly and unintentionally slipped down. Jin Huan pretended to complain. "Be gentle, my clothes are coming off." He opened his eyes wide in excitement, looking at her body. "I can't hold back anymore." Jin Huan suddenly noticed the bulge in his pants. She pretended to step back and questioned, "Chu Xiao, did not you say that I beat you until you could not move? How can you still?" Jin Huan had anticipated everything. She knew he was trying to frame her. He did not care and came over to caress her cheek. "Just relying on your strength is ridiculous," Jin Huan warned him. You dare to deceive me. You won't have a good life." The more Jin Huan refused, the more excited he became. "You're really vicious. What is wrong with this Xiao? You will find out soon enough. If you make this Xiao happy, I might consider withdrawing the lawsuit." Jin Huan was about to raise her hand to hit him. "Dream on. You are completely fine. You are faking evidence to frame me. Aren't you afraid I will call the police?" Chu Xiao grabbed her hand and asked arrogantly, "So what if the Xiao fakes evidence?" He was breathing more and more heavily, getting closer to Jin Huan. "I am telling you, I have the best team of lawyers in this city helping me. If you are not obedient, I will make sure you can never get out of prison in this lifetime." At this point, Jin Huan had achieved what she wanted. She smiled lightly. "You admitted to faking evidence. That is enough." He was stunned by her reaction and questioned suspiciously, "What did you say?" As soon as he finished speaking, a vase appeared out of nowhere and smashed him on the head. Chu Xiao fell to the ground in pain. He screamed, holding his bleeding head. Huan Yu shouted to remind her, "Suzu, run!" She dragged Jin Huan away. "I recorded everything. It is so rare he can't move. But as soon as he sees a beautiful woman, he is all over her. With this video, I will see how he frames me." Jin Huan breathed a sigh of relief. "That is great." She opened her eyes resolutely. "For Xiao Yuan." Jin Huan was extremely determined. "I absolutely cannot let anything happen." In the hospital room, Chu Xiao hugged his wound and ordered angrily, "Don't run! Where are you? Come here and catch those two bitches for me." He roared and cursed. Where did the security guards go? Perhaps he was bleeding too much. He fell to the ground again. A pair of shiny leather shoes appeared before his eyes. "Useless trash! Hurry up and chase after them." Looking closely at the person standing in front of him, he was shocked and frightened, sitting up abruptly. The man standing there was Lai Chen. His expression was so gloomy that it looked like he was about to kill someone. Chu Shao was so scared that he stammered, unable to form a sentence. You. He wondered to himself, why is Huo Li Chen here? Lai Chen did not answer him. He suddenly kicked Chu Shao hard. Then he warned, she is the person I am protecting. You still dare to touch her, are the 3 words, Huo Li Chen. Nothing in your heart. He was so frightened that he burst into tears, crying and explaining, no, I did not. She came to my door herself. Lai Chen did not bother listening to his excuses and kicked him again, cursing, useless. Chu Shao cried out in pain from the beating. Then Lai Chen showed no mercy. He casually waved his hand and ordered, he wants to be childless. Go fulfill his wish. The bodyguards following behind quickly complied, yes. One of the bodyguards kindly told him, Mr. Chu, relax, don't be nervous. It will only hurt for a little while and then it won't hurt anymore. He backed away, trembling all over, begging, no. Please spare me. We only have 1 grandson in our family. Please, how much money do you want? I will give you all my assets. But it was too late. His terrified screams echoed outside, sounding tragic. Returning to Lai Chen's side, Angie worriedly followed behind, reporting, Shao, the madam has found out that you invested in the nightclub. She is investigating this matter, and might find out about Miss Su's matter very soon. Hearing this, he could only be silent and frustrated. She is interfering in my business again. He suddenly saw something. Lai Chen stopped. It turns out that standing in front of him were Jin Huan and her friend. Nuan Yu suggested, Susu, I have already called a taxi. Let us wait here. She nodded in response. Okay. Jin Huan seemed to sense that someone was watching. She turned her head back. Jin Huan saw him standing there silently looking at her, and unconsciously called out, Huo Li Chen. She did not expect to see him here. She could even meet him at the hospital. Did they have such a deep karma? Should she say hello? Jin Huan thought for a while and was about to say hello when he coldly walked past her. Lai Chen's actions made her freeze in place, looking at his back with trepidation. He is really too cold. Nuan Yu waved her hand in front of Jin Huan, wondering, Susu, what is wrong? Jin Huan regained her senses and replied, nothing. She also understood the difference in status between her and Lai Chen. Huo Chen and I are indeed 2 people in 2 different worlds. He was interested in me before, but it was just a desire for novelty. She clenched her fists and made a difficult decision. Nuan Yu, the man you introduced to me before, please arrange for me to go on a blind date as soon as possible. Her heart was surging with strong waves. Xiao Yuan's health was getting worse and worse, and they could not delay any longer. Switching to a cafe, a voice rang out, our agency knows many big figures. Zifeng smiled calmly and said, so, if Miss Su has any problems, you can find me at any time. Jin Huan smiled and secretly praised her friend. Nuan Yu had finally found her a man who seemed reliable this time. Suddenly he said, Miss Su, you do not seem to be very interested in me. Zifeng showed a hint of sadness and proactively asked, is there something you are not satisfied with? Please tell me, and I can change. She immediately denied it and explained, no, I think you are very good, Mr. Li. I actually do not have any requirements. My only requirement is to get married as soon as possible. Faced with her strange request, Zifeng could not help but be puzzled. Miss Su's conditions are clearly so good. Why are you in such a hurry? Jin Huan embarrassedly recounted, because I have a younger brother with a different father who has leukemia. As long as I get married, I will get a dowry that can be used to have my brother operated. Go on. Zifeng sympathized with her and offered, so that is how it is. Miss Su's sisterly. Feeling Zifeng's gentleness, Jin Huan was very grateful. Thank you. She was glad that someone understood her situation. It is so difficult to meet a man who understands my way of doing things. Her mind suddenly fought again, as if struggling with a feeling that she did not know. This way, I can quickly get the money for Xiao Wan to have surgery. But why did she feel restless and uneasy in her heart? In the end, without giving herself any more chances to turn back, Jin Huan hurriedly urged, Mr. Li, the Civil Affairs Bureau has not closed yet. She decided and suggested, let us go register now. Her heart was determined. I absolutely cannot regret it at this critical moment. Although he had agreed, the events unfolded so quickly that Zifeng could not keep up. So fast, I know it is urgent, but I did not expect it to be so urgent. Jin Huan stood up and repeated Zifeng's words. You said that saving people is like putting out a fire and cannot wait. Suddenly, a girl appeared out of nowhere, panting, and pointed at the two of them, scolding, "You adulterous couple." She yelled angrily, "You fuck spirit, daring to seduce my husband." Jin Huan looked at her blankly. "What?" Zifeng stood up abruptly and said annoyed, "Li Li, what are you doing? We have already broken up." Ling Li grabbed his collar, refusing to accept it. "What breakup?" She cried and punched Zifeng. "I do not agree. Our child does not agree either," he ordered. "You are not allowed to make a scene." Zifeng now remembered Jin Huan with a gloomy face next to him. "Miss Su, listen to me. I broke up with her a long time ago. I have nothing to do with her now." She spoke up and blamed, "You got someone pregnant, and you are saying you have nothing to do with them. I do not see anything to explain." He tried to justify himself. Number Lingli tried to hug Zifeng's arm, crying and making a scene. "Why do you have to steal my husband? My child and I can't live without him." People around were whispering and gossiping. "What is going on? What is the situation?" Lingli still tried to frame Jin Huan. "You are so beautiful. Go seduce a rich man. I beg you, do not steal my husband." Jin Huan crossed her arms and replied unhurriedly, "This girl, I just went on a blind date with him today. It has nothing to do with your relationship." Jin Huan criticized her in turn. "If he is your husband, please manage him well. Don't let him continue to use the guise of being single to deceive people." The people standing around listening also spoke up, criticizing Zifeng, "A cheating man. He is married, and he is coming here for a blind date. How despicable." Jin Huan dusted her shoulders and turned to leave. "Mr. Li, if your ex-girlfriend is pregnant with your child, you should treat her well." Mr. Li angrily and flusteredly explained, Miss Su, it is not like that. I broke up with her more than a year ago. This child of hers is not mine at all." Ling Li tried to stop him from behind. "The child is yours. If you dare chase after her, I will die with the baby." He stubbornly struggled. "Let go of me," she stopped him. "I won't let go, Wah." While the two were arguing, Jin Huan had quietly left. "Su, Wah," she left. A moment later, Ling Li sat down on a chair. She leisurely picked up a cake and enjoyed it. "Aya, I am so tired from crying." Mr. Li Hao saw Ling Li like this, and his face turned green. "You, Ling Li, explain to me, what is going on?" She looked up and replied to him in an indifferent tone. "What do you mean? Can't you tell? I came to cause trouble? This cake is delicious." Mr. Lai lost his patience and knocked the cake out of her hand. "Don't play dumb." Mr. Lai angrily yelled, "What are you relying on to ruin my blind date with Miss Su?" Ling Li was not to be outdone. She stood up abruptly and scolded straight. "What is the matter? I just can't stand you, a scum pretending to be polite and refined. Harming other girls. You are a patriarchal, selfish, and self-serving man. You even hit women. Now you want to hit me too. I am pregnant. Go ahead and hit me if you dare. I will bury you with me, even if it is one corpse with 2 lives." He was speechless by her words. I will consider you powerful." Meanwhile, Anji stood in the distance, monitoring the situation with a camera. "That you, Ling Li, is really good at adding drama." He turned around to report to Li Chen, "Shao, the truth is, I only did as you instructed. Only called you Ling Li to cause trouble. I absolutely did not teach her to scold Miss Su." He immediately darkened his face, and his voice became harsh. Where did she go? In another place, Jin Huan took a step in thought. "Aish." She walked, without paying attention to the people around her. "Why are the men I go on blind dates with all scumbags? There is not one reliable one." Suddenly, Jin Huan sighed. The marriage did not work out. "I can't get the dowry. What should I do?" Suddenly, the noise in front of her made her curious. A crowd of people were constantly discussing. "Everyone, do not get so close. She might be pretending. When it is needed, it will cost money again. That is possible." Jin Huan was a little puzzled. What happened? Then she went and squeezed in. The people around were still talking non-stop. "She is wearing brand name clothes. She probably did not deliberately fall down to cheat people out of money. That is because you have not seen much. If you do not put on some makeup, how can you deceive people? But do not help her up anyway." Jin Huan was surprised when she saw the woman faint on the road. "Oh no, someone fainted." She did not hesitate to step forward to check on her. "Get out of the way. Let me see what is going on with her." The people around hurriedly stopped her. "Aya, girl, you definitely should not touch her. If something happens, you have to take responsibility." Even so, Jin Huan quickly put her hand on the woman's neck to check. She was shocked to realize she is not faking it. She is dizzy. Call an ambulance. After she finished speaking, she immediately rushed to perform chest compressions on the woman. Everyone, quickly move away. Don't crowd around here. Let the air circulate. Hurry. After Jin Huan examined her for a while, she said, I am going to do mouth-to-mouth resuscitation first. Lai Chen saw this scene and immediately ordered, call an ambulance. Angie quickly replied, yes. After observing for a while, he was stunned. Miss Su, not to mention that she has a good figure, she also knows how to save people. After he finished speaking, Angie glanced at Lai Chen. He could not help but think in his heart, the most amazing thing is that she has made my Xiao so fascinated. He does not do business worth several billion, and comes here to care about her blind date. He said, it is really amazing. Returning to Jin Huan's place, she was still trying to give her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Ugh. She happily announced she has a heartbeat again. Her heartbeat has recovered. At the same time, the doctor also quickly ran over. The patient is here, hurry up. She helped her up and checked on the situation. The patient has recovered from her dizziness. Fortunately, there was someone kind enough to help with timely mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Otherwise, it would have been too late. The people around immediately praised Jin Huan. It is all thanks to that kind girl. She's really a kind beauty. That is great. Meanwhile, the doctor was still urgently urging, hurry, get her to the hospital immediately. Suddenly, she staggered as if she was about to fall. Suddenly, relaxing a little made her feel dizzy. Lai Chen quickly appeared and supported her. Seeing him, she could not help but be startled. Jin Huan asked in surprise, why is it you? On the contrary, he held her in his arms and replied, your complexion is not very good. Don't talk. Close your eyes and rest. I will take you to the hospital. Then he cared for her, holding her in his arms. She called his name shyly, Huo Li Chen. Lai Chen affectionately stroked her head and replied in a pampered tone, don't you want to rest? Isn't your body tired enough? He also made a sarcastic remark, or do you want me to do something to you? Hearing this, Jin Huan quickly pushed him away. No, I want to rest. In the end, she still obediently stayed in Li Chen's arms, her heart pounding. He ignored me at the hospital. Why is he so concerned about me now? Suddenly, Jin Huan vaguely asked, what are you thinking? She could not understand, but she felt that her health was not good. No, I am too dizzy. I am losing consciousness. She lay snugly in Lai Chen's arms. He vaguely asked himself, what am I thinking? In the end, Jin Huan fell asleep in Lai Chen's arms. He kept thinking, what am I doing? Lai Chen carefully placed Jin Huan in the car. Forget it, these things are nothing. He gently touched her strands of hair. Just sleep peacefully like this, and do not worry about me selling you off. That night at the hospital, Jin Huan slowly woke up. I ended up being taken to the hospital by Huo Li Chen. She sat up, still sleepy. Yawn, it feels like it has been a long time since I have slept so soundly. Then, Jin Huan reached for the admission paper next to her. It is late, I should go to work. I should go to the cashier to pay the hospital bill and then go to work. But her attitude immediately became panicked. 10,000. Wait, did not I just come here to sleep? I lost 10,000. Damn it, what a waste. A moment later, Jin Huan went to pay the hospital bill. The cashier happily said, Miss, your hospital bill has already been paid. You do not need to pay any more. She was a little surprised. It has already been paid, the cashier still replied with a smile. Yes. Jin Huan left in a daze. When Huo Li Chen brought me here, he already paid the bill. She could not help but blame herself in her heart. I clearly did not want to owe him anything, but still. Suddenly, the phone rang. Looking at the screen, she could not help but be stunned. Xiao Yuan's chief doctor. Why is he calling so late? Did something happen to Xiao Yuan? Then, Jin Huan anxiously answered the phone. Hello, Dr. Zhao, my brother. The voice on the other end of the line rang out anxiously. Miss Su, I just received a notification from the hospital that the bone marrow donor for Xiao Yuan clearly stated. His next words stunned her. He can't donate marrow to Xiao Yuan anymore. Jin Huan flusteredly and confusedly asked back, What? Why is that? Is it not enough money? I can give him more? How much money does not matter, I can give it? Dr. Zhao tried to explain. Miss Su, do not get excited. He did not say the reason. Marrow donation is based on the donor's voluntary spirit. If he does not agree, we can't force him. She continued to reassure her. This time, we missed a suitable marrow. We can wait again. There is still hope. At this time, Jin Huan said with a choked voice, We have waited for a long time. We finally waited for the right person. Xiao Yuan's health is getting weaker and weaker. I am afraid he can't wait any longer. Jin Huan shed tears in despair. Dr. Zhao, please tell me how to contact the marrow donor. I will go and beg him. Whatever the conditions, I will agree. Dr. Zhao still tried to persuade her. Miss Su, calm down a bit. I can't break my professional ethics. Jin Huan became calm. She wiped away her tears. Sorry. I could not control my emotions. That is why I spoke so confusedly. Afterwards, she wiped her tears while listening to Dr. Zhao say, It is okay. I understand you. Dr. Zhao continued to encourage her. Miss Su, at this time, we must be optimistic to face it. Jin Huan looked up at the sky. Her appearance was extremely empty. God, why give us hope? Then cruelly take it away. Her tears kept falling. She asked herself, Xiao Yuan, what should I do? A moment later, at the Su family villa, Jin Huan overheard the conversation of those two people, Aya, Xiao Xuan. She immediately recognized that woman, Su Qingwan. She leaned against the red car and said, It is getting late. I have to go back. You should also go home and rest. After she finished speaking, Qingwan turned her face to snort coldly at Jin Huan HMPH. On the contrary, Jin Huan ignored her. A thought popped into her head. Su Qingwan found a new boyfriend again. Jin Huan stepped into the house, her heart still a mess. No wonder she did not come to cause trouble these days. Qingwan saw this and shamelessly followed her. Sister, why is your face so ugly? Something must have happened that was very painful, right? She smiled triumphantly. But that is right, ha 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 ha, because of your damned mixed breed. This time I am afraid he is going to greet Yama. Jin Huan heard this and turned around in panic. She tried to question, What? What do you mean? Do you know something? Qingwan crossed her arms and said in a challenging tone, What? My brother carefully protected. It was not easy to wait for a suitable marrow. Her face became distorted. The cooked duck flew away in the end. Moreover, this duck was me calling it to fly away. Surprised, unexpected, Jin Huan was stimulated. She rushed to strangle her. Qingwan spoke with difficulty, but she made her hands stronger and stronger. What are you doing? Let me go. Jin Huan did not yield and shouted loudly. So it was your trick. Why did you do that? Qingwan had gradually reached the limit, she said intermittently. You mad woman, let go. If I do not tell you to listen, but I only said a few words, I was able to make your brother go to die. On the contrary, Jin Huan still refused to let go. If you have anything you are not satisfied with, just target me. Why do you have to attack Xiao Yuan? It was not easy for him to have the hope of waiting for a suitable marrow. Do you know the marrow donor? What did you say to people? Her face was now turning purple. Let go, let me go, I said, Jin Huan said sternly. Say it quickly. Suddenly, she turned and shouted loudly, Mom and Dad, come save me, sister wants to kill me. Qingwan quickly seized the opportunity to escape. She shouted loudly as she ran away. Su Jin Huan, what are you? I am not afraid of you. With my parents here, I will see how you catch me. Jin Huan threatened, Okay, Su Qingwan, if you have the ability, do not leave the house for the rest of your life. I won't let you go. Time passed quickly. 3 days later, at the pier, Qingwan frowned and thought, I should not have admitted that the marrow donor was my doing at first. She cursed Jin Huan as she walked. Su Jin Huan is really a madwoman. Immediately afterwards, she turned around, her tone harsh. Su Jin Huan, you are not allowed to follow me anymore. Jin Huan stubbornly questioned, Tell me who he is. Qingwan scornfully walked away. You psycho, then you just keep following me. Now I have to go to the party on the yacht. See how you come along? Jin Huan was stopped by 2 bodyguards. Sorry, madam, you can't enter without an invitation. She quickly stopped. Okay. Jin Huan frowned and thought, I will consider you powerful, Su Qingwan. Then I will stand outside. Suddenly, Anji appeared from behind. He greeted happily. Hi. Miss Su, what a coincidence. Are you also here to attend the party on the yacht? She replied a little awkwardly, I want to go, but Seeing this, Anji quickly offered an invitation. This yacht belongs to our young master. Tonight, our young master is hosting a birthday party. If you do not mind, you can come on board with me. Jin Huan happily replied, Really? Why would I mind, Assistant Shen? Thank you. Anji hurriedly waved his hand. Don't be polite. Do not be polite. I should thank you for coming. After he finished speaking, Anji looked around for a while and then said shyly, But your look. You should still put on some makeup. Jin Huan was stunned, huh? He quickly added, Don't worry. There is a makeup artist on the boat. Please follow me. Dressing room? Anji led Jin Huan into the room. Miss Su, we are here. The room was decorated with all luxurious things. The cabinets were full of brand name accessories. Wow, there is a dressing room like this on the boat. There were not only her in the room, but also several staff members following to help. Miss Sue, just leave the rest to us. Jin Hwan nodded shyly. Huh, okay. She was still lost in thought. It is really grand. It is like it was specially prepared for me. Assistant Shen was still smiling contentedly with his arms crossed. Miss Sue has not noticed anything yet. He happily kept smiling in his mouth. My work efficiency is so perfect. If young master does not reward me with a big red envelope at the end of the year. Afterwards, NJ went to see Lai Chen outside the hall, young master. He respectfully announced, it has been arranged. He only glanced back coldly and nodded slightly. Okay? After a not short, not long time, the staff member gently announced in her ear, Miss Sue, the makeup is done. Jin Hwan stared blankly at herself in the mirror. Is this me? It seems that I have never been so beautiful before. The makeup artist straightened her hair and praised incessantly. Miss Sue, you are so beautiful. I have done makeup for many famous young ladies, models, and stars, but you are the most outstanding among them. She shyly lowered her head and coughed lightly. It is because your makeup technique is top-notch. After they finished, the two of them led her to the back of the fitting room. Miss Sue, we have prepared some dresses. Choose one that you like. Jin Hwan gasped in amazement at the luxurious beauty. Wow, these dresses are so beautiful. The staff member smiled gently. Miss Sue, take your time to choose. They all had the same thought in their hearts. Maybe Miss Sue does not know. All these things were prepared for her by young Master Huo. Jin Hwan chose back and forth and finally liked one. Choose this one. The assistant smiled and led Jin Hwan to the small room. Miss Sue really has a good taste. This one suits your figure very well. Please follow me to the dressing room. She smiled in response. Thank you. But in the room, Jin Hwan was struggling with the off-shoulder pink dress, unable to pull the zipper all the way up. She quickly asked for help. Makeup artist, I can't pull up the zipper. Please pull it up for me. An arm reached out to help her pull the zipper up and quietly replied, It is done. Jin Hwan was startled and turned around to see who it was, and his face was clearly revealed before her eyes, Huo Li Chen. She did not understand why she met this man everywhere. Her feet also stepped back, accidentally stepping on the dress. Why is he here? Jin Hwan swayed and fell backwards. Lai Chen quickly wrapped his arm around her waist to support her. Jin Hwan pushed him away shyly and scolded, What are you doing, Huo Li Chen? Let me go. From the very beginning, Li Chen had not taken his eyes off her. He gently stroked the face that looked like an angel present before him. Today you. Just as Jin Hwan was stunned, a quick kiss was lightly placed on her lips. At the unexpected moment of lips touching, her cheeks turned red, and she was still resolutely resisting at first. But in the end, Lai Chen also took her hand and pressed it against his body. Jin Hwan was greedily occupied by his plump lips, and a delicate moan slowly rang out. Her head was about to not be able to stand it anymore, her hands tightly clutching him, wanting to break free. I am about to suffocate. Finally, Li Chen regretfully let her go, sweat dripping around his body. Jin Hwan regained her senses and flusteredly covered her mouth angrily. How did he get in here? Before she could finish speaking, Lai Chen interrupted her and picked her up. Jin Hwan said loudly in panic, What are you doing? Put me down. He just smiled endearingly. Over here. Then slowly put her down on the dressing table. Jin Hwan was still extremely vigilant. What else do you want to do? But Lai Chen only quietly took out a pair of pink high heels. Looking at the high heels in his hand, she was stunned for a moment. These are for me to wear. Lai Chen also slowly knelt on the floor, just to do the caring action of putting shoes on her feet. Jin Hwan was stunned to the point of panic. Huo Li Chen. Seeing him carefully and thoughtfully, her heart began to beat out of rhythm. Jin Hwan felt uncomfortable. Her cheeks were already as red as ripe tomatoes. I can wear them myself. But he did not say anything more. His hands still slowly stroked those delicate white feet and thought to himself, Too small, but it was just right to fall on me that night. Seeing Lai Chen still motionless, after a long time, she had to shout to break this tense atmosphere. Hey, can we go now? Want to hold my feet until when? He nodded and sighed, then slowly put the shoes on her feet. Okay. Jin Hwan jumped down from the table and walked a few steps, and had to exclaim in amazement. It is amazing. Expensive shoes are different, too comfortable. It is clearly high heels, but it is very soft. Below, he quietly slipped his hand through hers and took it. Lai Chen shyly glanced at her and took a temporary excuse. Today is my brother's birthday, Tonight I am missing a dance partner. Jin Huan widened her eyes and made a suspicious face. No way, you are missing a dance partner, are you kidding me? Suddenly he turned to stare at her, causing her to say something in embarrassment. Why? What is wrong? Lai Chen moved closer, creating a sweet scene. Then poured sweet words into Jin Huan's ears. I am missing you. Just that one sentence made her eyes become dazed. Although her heart was beating wildly, her reason was still firm, trying to stay calm. Su Jin Huan, wake up, do not be moved. But Jin Huan's reason would not allow herself to be soft-hearted. No, Li Chen, do not try to tempt me. That night was just an accident. I know you were just feeling a temporary novelty. As soon as she finished speaking, she turned and quickly ran away. I have things to do. I am not playing with you anymore. Assistant Shen outside happened to see this scene, and a huge question mark appeared in his mind. His face was covered in sweat as he watched Jin Huan push young Master Huo further and further away. The young master had never been so gentle before, yet he still could not win her over. He thought Miss Su was going to refuse but still accept. Amazing, just amazing. Lai Chen staggered out of the room with a dazed expression. Angie could not help but cover his mouth and secretly laugh. He never thought he would actually see the young master looking so defeated in his life. The boat was bustling with preparations, waiting for the fireworks show that would welcome tonight's party. Jin Huan looked around, searching for someone. Where's Su Qingwan? She became more and more lost in thought. If it was really as she said, the donor must be wealthy. After all, Su Qingwan only knew how to associate with rich young masters. Behind her, the crowd started to whisper when they saw Jin Huan, so dazzling, walking back and forth on the yacht. Wow, who is that? Which family's daughter? So beautiful. Finally, in the bustling crowd, Qingwan recognized her, Su Jin Huan. She muttered and gnashed her teeth in her heart. Damn it! How did she get on the boat without an invitation? And she is dressed and made up like that to steal the spotlight. Qingwan stepped forward and clung to her sister's arm. Su Jin Huan, why are you here? She smiled faintly, silently curling her lips, not bothering to care. If you can be here, why can't I? What, are you scared? She provoked, making her so angry she almost coughed up blood. Come with me first. Let us go outside and talk. Once outside, Jin Huan grabbed her by the shoulders and accused her. Su Qingwan, you know what I want. I am giving you one last chance. My brother is still waiting. As long as you get back the donor's consent, I won't pursue what you have done. Qingwan, caught red-handed, stubbornly denied it. What does your brother's life or death have to do with me? Do I decide whether someone donates or not? You are crazy? Her eyes glared at the woman in front of her. It was all because of her schemes behind her back. She struggled to break free. Su Jin Huan, let me go now. But Jin Huan still would not let go, forcing her to confess all her tricks. Speak quickly. Suddenly, Qingwan changed her expression and began to act weak and pleading. Wah! Do not hit me, sister. What do you want to know? I will tell you. I will tell you everything. Qingwan immediately changed her expression. Jin Huan narrowed her eyes warily. What trick was she up to now? As soon as she turned her head, she was stunned. What the hell are you doing? The strange man held her back, helping her out of her predicament. What do you want to do to Qingwan? Let her go. Jin Huan quickly recognized him as Xiao Xuan. Wasn't this the man that Su Qingwan had brought upstairs that night? With someone to rely on, Qingwan threw herself into the man's arms, crying, Are you okay? Don't be afraid. I am here. She pretended to be scared, using him as a shield. Xiao Xuan, Wah. She started to vaguely recognize someone familiar. Xiao Xuan, Huo Xiao Xuan. It dawned on Jin Huan that he was the eldest son adopted by the Huo family. It was said that Madame Huo treated him even better than her own children. Seeing Qingwan still crying, he gently patted her back. It is okay now. It is okay now. Then his face darkened as he turned to reproach Jin Huan. Who are you? Who allowed you on the boat? Lai Chen appeared stylishly, coming to the rescue of the girl in his heart. She is my dance partner. I invited her. Qingwan immediately returned to normal, smiling and greeting him. Huo Li Chen. In her heart, she was overjoyed as she separated from Xiao Xuan. Oh, the legitimate heir of the Huo family. I have finally met him again. Xiao Xuan also noticed her sudden change of heart, his eyes filled with disappointment. Jin Huan witnessed everything and sneered, looking down on her. So that is how it was. She only saw Huo Xiaoxuan as a stepping stone. Huo Li Chen was her real target. Suddenly, he wrapped his arm around her shoulder, pulling her close to him. Lai Chen wrapped his arm tightly around Jin Hwan's waist, declaring his ownership. She is my girl. I brought her. Is there a problem? He felt a little embarrassed and made a small sound. So she is your dance partner, uncle. Xiaoxuan stared intently at the other man, lost in thought. It was the first time he had seen Huo Lichen bring a girl to his side. Hadn't he always been indifferent to women? Jin Hwan blushed, preparing to pinch Lai Chen as revenge. Who was his dance partner? He was acting so natural. But he was faster, grabbing her hand and smiling as he introduced her. That is right. I have not had time to introduce you to my elder brother yet. Qingwan interrupted, using a fake tone to smooth things over. Brother Tian, let me introduce you. This is my sister, Su Jinhuan. We just had a small misunderstanding. It is nothing. Xiaoxuan quickly apologized. So you are all acquaintances. I was too hasty just now. Sorry. Then he wanted to go inside the hall with her. The dancing is about to start, Qingwan. Let us go in. But she insisted on dragging Jinhuan in to make a fool of her, using the opportunity to put her down. By the way, sister, let us go dancing together. In her heart, she had already planned to humiliate her. You have never learned to dance, and you have never been to a ball. Let us see how you dance. Jinhuan was stunned, not knowing how to respond. Qingwan sneered contemptuously. Su Jinhuan, you are definitely going to make a fool of yourself this time. She lowered her head, bluntly refusing but hesitating slightly. I do not want to dance. Her words reminded Jinhuan of unhappy memories. Mrs. Su's biological daughter, Su Qingwan, was good at everything. Etiquette, talent. But she did not want to spend money for me to learn these things. Lai Chen looked at her blankly and asked, his eyes full of affection, You are my dance partner. If you do not dance, who will I dance with? Jinhuan secretly glanced at him as if admitting a fact. I have never learned. Aren't you afraid I will embarrass you? But Li Chen did not refuse at all, wrapping his arm around her waist. I do not know what embarrassment is. He did not care at all, putting his arm around her waist and confidently walking into the party. Let us just improvise and see what happens. Just relax and come with me. I will see who dares to make fun of you. But Qingwan frowned and flew into a rage. Su Jinhuan, what are you relying on? As soon as they entered the party hall, she said timidly, Huo Lichen, I really can't do it. Let us go. Lai Chen squeezed her hand as a sign of encouragement. I said you can, so you can. He did not hesitate to pull her into his arms. The Su Jinhuan I know is not a shrinking turtle. Jinhuan was flustered, not knowing how to explain. But right now, I just want to be a shrinking turtle. As soon as she said half a sentence, she stopped. I came to investigate the matter, not to attract attention. Lai Chen gently agreed. All right, little turtle, raise your hand and put it on my shoulder. She blushed shyly and retorted, Who is a little turtle? But he suddenly pulled her closer. Her cheeks were flushed, and she had no choice but to put her hand on Lai Chen's shoulder. You are doing this on purpose, are not you? Her mind was now in a jumble. I remember this dance is not supposed to be so close. Looking at Jinhuan huddled in his arms like a child, he thought, so cute, I want to pinch her. Lai Chen leaned closer and gently instructed her, Su Jinhuan, relax, follow my rhythm. Jinhuan was like a little deer cornered, both flustered and scared. Slow down a bit. Jinhuan tiptoed and turned halfway around. Her body still moved gently to the music. She shyly looked at Lai Chen and thought, It seems. It is not that difficult. Lai Chen looked at her, his voice somewhat gentle. It is very simple, is not it? Jinhuan did not know how to answer, only softly uttering a word, Yeah. Seeing Jinhuan and Lai Chen dancing made everyone around them exclaim in admiration. Oh my god, which family's daughter is dancing so beautiful? Isn't that young Master Huo beside her? Hearing the compliments from everyone around her, they danced so well. They looked like a perfect match. Qingwan gritted her teeth and cursed inwardly. When did this Su Jinhuan learn to dance? She is pretending to be pitiful just to trick me, right? They are both young masters from the Huo family, but Huo Xiaoxuan is still inferior to Huo Lichen. Lai Chen gently took Jinhuan's hand and swayed to the soulful music. They both immersed themselves in the dance. Jinhuan's heart rate increased and pounded rapidly. She gently called out his name, Huo Lichen. Lai Chen did not say anything, only looked at her with affectionate eyes. A waiter stepped forward, interrupting the ambiguous atmosphere between the two. Su, young master, the master invites you. Lai Chen turned his head and replied, Okay. He kissed Jin Hwan on the forehead and instructed her, "Go for a walk first. Wait for me to come back." Jin Hwan only replied with a soft She watched his departing figure and stroked her chest, breathing a sigh of relief. He is finally gone. Whew. This young Master Huo is like a light bulb. With him around, everyone will be staring. Looking at the attractive food on the plates, Jin Hwan's stomach rumbled. I am so hungry. I have not eaten anything tonight. She quickly grabbed a few pastries for her plate. The pastries here are so good. I have to eat something to fill my stomach. Then she happily enjoyed them, not forgetting to exclaim, "So delicious." A voice beside her caught her attention. "Hey, who are you? You are such a beautiful girl. How come I have never seen you before?" The person who called out to her was Lin Zia, a wealthy young lady from the Lin family. Jin Hwan calmly put a piece of cake in her mouth and asked, "What does it matter to you who I am?" Zia's face darkened, and she pointed her finger. "You and my fiancé are together. Of course it concerns me." Jin Hwan's face stiffened as she retorted, "Who is your fiancé, Huo Lichen? Then you should be worried about keeping your fiancé close, because he told me he is still single." Zia was left speechless. Zia heard this and frowned. "You?" Just then, Angie interrupted, cutting off Zia's words. "Wait, Miss Lin Zia." He gave a professional smile. "Don't you want to know what our young master's hobbies are? Can we go over there and talk about it in more detail?" Zia was overjoyed to hear this. "Really, as long as it is about him, I want to know." Anjai replied, Really, just come with me over here." But he thought to himself, "Don't provoke the person that the young master treats like a treasure here." Jin Hwan watched this scene and silently cursed in her heart. "I knew none of these rich people were any good. He already has 3 fiancés, and he still comes to tease me. That damned Huo Li Chen." Zia thought of something and picked up a glass of wine. "Oh, right." She directly splashed the wine towards Jin Hwan, pretending to cover her mouth. Oops. The wine splashed directly onto the dress she was wearing, causing Jin Hwan to be stunned. Anji exclaimed in panic, "Miss Lin, how could you do that?" But Zia covered her mouth and laughed mockingly. "Sorry, my hand slipped." Jin Hwan was not to be outdone. She grabbed the hem of her dress with one hand and said, "All right, I was just thinking this dress was too cumbersome." Then she decisively tore off the hem of her dress, surprising everyone around her. Wow. Looking at the torn hem of the dress, Angie could only exclaim, "Well done!" Leaving Zaya standing there, Jin Hwan walked away calmly, leaving behind a sentence. "Everyone, do what you need to do. I am going to fill my stomach first." Zaya felt suffocated and stomped her feet irritably. "Is that okay too, Assistant Shen?" Anji Yi was also upset and nudged his hand, causing the tray of wine in the waiter's hand to spill. The dark red wine spilled onto Zia's dress. "Oops!" She angrily questioned, "Shen Angie, what are you doing?" Angie raised his hand, indicating innocence. "Sorry, Miss Lin, I accidentally slipped." Jin Hwan could not help but laugh as she witnessed this. Zaya yelled, raising her hand to hit someone. "Shen Angie, what are you?" Anjay did not dodge, enduring a painful slap from Zia. Jin Hwan exclaimed in surprise, "Assistant Shen." Zia left angrily, carrying her anger with her. Jin Hwan approached and asked with concern, "Assistant Shen, are you okay?" Anji replied tiredly, "I am okay." He rubbed his cheek and smiled. "If I do not get slapped by her, this won't end. She is the only daughter of the chairman of the Lin Group." But in his heart, he was calculating. This is called a work injury. I got beaten for standing up to protect Miss Su. How much of a bonus is the young master going to compensate me with? Jin Hwan asked with concern, "Do you really not need me to go with you?" But Anji happily comforted her. It is okay. I will go find some ice to apply myself. Miss Su, just enjoy the party." Jin Hwan scratched her cheek in confusion. Why is he so happy after being beaten? A group of men swarmed over, friendly offering. "Hey miss, you are so beautiful. Would you do me the honor of dancing with you? Hey miss, how about we get to know each other?" Jin Hwan waved her hand in refusal. "Sorry, I do not know how to dance." But one person was still shamelessly persistent. "It is okay, I can teach you. I have won awards before." They each said a sentence, "I can teach you too." "Hey miss, dance with me. My father is the chairman of the Lu Group. My mother is the owner of a global chain of corporations." Jin Hwan was surrounded, not knowing what to do. Lai Chen witnessed this scene, and his eyebrows furrowed immediately, his eyes darkening considerably. Jin Hwan awkwardly retreated, No need, Lai Chen immediately pulled her into his arms. Seeing this, the group did not dare to approach anymore. Oh, so she already has a dance partner. We won't bother you anymore. Jin Huan struggled to break free. What is wrong with you? Let me go. Lai Chen angrily scolded. I only left for a moment, and you have already attracted a bunch of butterflies. Do you think I am dead? Jin Huan's hands were held tightly, and she shouted, Is it my fault? And you, young Master Huo? You already have a fiancé. Why are you still teasing me? Let go. I do not want to be part of your games. Li Chen was surprised to hear this. Fiancé, he thought. When? Who said that? Jin Huan put one hand on her hip and pointed at him with the other, questioning. Are you still going to pretend to be stupid? She glared, biting her teeth, blaming herself and her heart. I actually slept with someone like this, and I even... Immediately after, she used all her strength to push Lai Chen away and shouted, I dare to do anything, but I will never be a third party. Huo Li Chen, you are scum. Stay away from me. Lai Chen grabbed Jin Huan's hand, trying to explain. It is not like that. Wait. She closed her eyes tightly, as if not wanting to hear any excuses from him, and slapped him. Let go. Let go of my hand. Lai Chen silently lowered his head. Jin Huan exclaimed in worry, Ah. She retreated in fear, thinking, Oh my God, what have I done? Then, Jin Huan immediately turned and ran away. I am definitely dead this time. Lai Chen roared angrily. What are you looking at? This young master is happy to let her slap me. Do you have any objections? Then he left. Qing Wan spoke from behind. Young Master Huo, I know why my sister reacts so strongly to third parties. Lai Chen stopped. He turned his head and asked, What did you say? Qing Wan quickly poured out a long speech. My sister's biological mother cheated on a married man when my sister was very young. Then my father found out and beat her, kicking her out of the Su family and not letting her see my sister again. My sister always thought of her biological mother as a disgrace, so she hates third parties so much. But, like mother, like daughter, she... Lai Chen turned and looked directly at her, saying, According to the version I know, it is very different from what you said. He smiled slightly. I heard that you and your sister are only 6 months apart in age. Qing Wan awkwardly clenched her hands. That is because her biological mother cheated while she was pregnant with her. When my father was heartbroken, he met my mother. My mother comforted him, so that is why... Lai Chen crossed his arms, his tone sarcastic. Your mother is really good too, knowing he was married, but still comforting him to the point of getting into bed. Qing Wan was brought to tears by his words. How can you say such harsh things? She always hates me and my mother. She must have said a lot of bad things about us. Lai Chen turned and waved his hand. It is true that Su Jin Huan dislikes you very much, but she is not like you, going around saying bad things about others. Qing Wan was angry. That is not me. You misunderstood me. How hateful. Xiao Xuan approached from behind, concerned. Qing Wan, so you are here. What is wrong? You do not look so good. She took Xiao Xuan's arm and smiled. I am fine. Let us go dancing, he replied. Okay. Qing Wan was not satisfied and sighed. Highs, how nice would it be if I was on Huo Li Chen's arm right now? Jenny observed secretly from afar. She said helplessly, the eldest young master actually took a fancy to this kind of person. Madam will definitely be very angry when she finds out. The luxurious yacht was moving on the sea. Lai Chen could not see Jin Huan's figure. Where did she go? It seemed that he had discovered something. She was standing, admiring the sea view in the windy weather. How charming Jin Huan's beautiful appearance was under the bright moonlight. He gently draped his jacket over her back. Lai Chen felt wronged in his heart. I do not have a fiancé. I never had one. Who did you hear that from? Who is spreading rumors? Ever since I met you, all I have been thinking about is you. How could I have time to get to know anyone else? Jin Huan did not care about this. You do not need to explain to me. Anyway, after leaving the boat, people from different worlds have to return to their own homes. He quickly touched her arm. Isn't that enough? I came to find you to explain. Isn't that enough to prove that I care about you? Lai Chen did not understand Jin Huan's meaning. Then tell me, what should I do? She hesitated for a long time before saying, do not tempt me. I have things to do. He kissed Jin Huan before she could react to what was happening. The jacket on her back had fallen off at some point. The sweet kiss between Jin Huan and Lai Chen still had not ended. She was so embarrassed that her face turned red. It is happening again. Jin Huan tried to push him away. I can't breathe. The more she tried to push him away, the deeper Lai Chen kissed. Finally, Jinhuan separated his lips from hers. She was flustered and speechless. "Huo Li Chen." He whispered in Jinhuan's ear. "Is that enough?" She was shy and did not know what to say to Lai Chen. "What do you mean enough? You are hurting me." He actually looked amused. "I want to hurt you." Lai Chen had created a reddish strawberry mark on Jinhuan's neck to show sweetness and intimacy. She immediately scolded. "Lai Chen, you are a dog. What are you? Part dog that you bite so hard, and you bit me in such an obvious place. How hateful." Jinhuan put her hands on his face, gently leaning up. Her actions caught Lai Chen off guard. He quickly retreated behind Jinhuan. "You..." Lai Chen only wanted to confirm. "Are you happy now?" Jinhuan deliberately teased him. "Liar, you told me you liked me before." She calmly waved goodbye. "You can stay here and cool down. Remember to hurry up. I will wait inside for you to dance." He touched the red mark under his mouth that Jinhuan had created. Lai Chen thought to himself, "Cool down. If I keep holding back, I am going to turn into a turtle." His hands touched each other. Lai Chen had nothing to worry about. "Su Jinhuan, you can just flaunt it now. Let me keep lighting the fire without putting it out. We have got a long way to go." The party inside the yacht was no less lively. The sound of clinking wine glasses echoed throughout the cabin. Jinhuan reminded herself, "I was not full just now. I have to take the opportunity to eat a little more. I have to admit that the pastries here are delicious." Lai Chen came up and gently hugged her from behind. So delicious. He tasted the pastry in Jinhuan's hand. She was unhappy that Li Chen was doing this in public. "Go get your own to eat." The camera recorded the words he had been saying. "The pastry in your hand seems to be more delicious." A woman was watching Lai Chen and Jinhuan from a distance. The waiter came to report to Madame Huo. "Madam, Jenny has brought the person." Qingwan was unhappy. "I just sprained my ankle while dancing. I need to rest for a while. Where is this?" She was shocked to realize, "Isn't this Madame Huo?" Qingwan immediately changed her attitude. Her expression also became more pleasant. "Hello, madam." She always treated her guests politely. "Please sit down." Jenny repeated Madame Huo's words. "Please sit down." Second Monsieur Qingwan praised her to the skies. "Thank you, madam. It is no wonder you are a famous madam. Your aura is so powerful." She glanced at her and pointed to the TV screen. "This girl is your sister." She was confused and stunned by Jinhuan's appearance. "Su Jinhuan, madam, she is my half-sister." Madame Huo asked a question. "I heard that her mother was kicked out of the house by her father for having an affair. Is that right?" Qingwan implicitly affirmed with her. It seemed that she did not like Su Jinhuan very much. "I was still young at the time. I did not know about adults. Affairs. I heard the elders in the family talk about it later. It seemed to be like that." Madame Huo directly stated her point of view. "Such a good girl. How could she have such a mother, a woman with a bad reputation? Her daughter is not worthy to stand next to my son." Qingwan became much more serious than she usually was. "Madam, I am ready to serve you." Madame Huo wanted to assign Qingwan a task. "I invited you here. It is true that I have this intention. I am sure you understand that if you can help me succeed, I will not treat you badly." She agreed without hesitation. "Everything will be according to Madam's orders." She had a condition that needed Qingwan to complete. "But that child Shou Akshuan has an introverted personality. I do not want him to be hurt. You should also break up with him soon." Qingwan only wanted to explain clearly to finish the matter. "Madam, actually, Hai Shan and I are not." But Jenny did not let her continue. "Second Miss Su, our madam needs to rest. Please leave." Qingwan had not finished speaking before the door slammed shut. "Madam, believe me, we are just friends." Her eyes were full of anger and hatred. How hateful. Qingwan turned around and scolded others. "A small housekeeper dares to be so arrogant. Wait until I marry the young master of your family, then prepare to pack up and leave." Someone shouted loudly, causing Qingwan to jump in fright. "Hey, you are blocking the way. Please move to the side if you are limping, okay?" She recognized the other person's identity. It was Lin Zia. Qingwan was annoyed but still had to fawn over her. "Miss Lin, you are radiant today. I have to admit that this dress is very suitable for young Master Huo. You really are a match made in heaven. Making people admire you, but she secretly thought in her heart, what kind of cats and dogs dare to bully me?" She smiled smugly. "Oh, you really think he and I are a couple?" The anger was hidden deep inside Zia's eyes. but now the person who is by his side is your good sister. Qingwan wiped away her relationship with Jin Huan in a split second. She and I were not born from the same mother, Miss Lin. She is our common enemy. The enemy of the enemy is a friend. Let us be friends. She could not believe her ears. You want to be friends with me? Zia then pushed Qingwan to the ground. She did not dare to resist when she was bullied by Zia. Zia did not even bother to acknowledge Qingwan. Someone like you wants to be my friend. Dream on. She turned and screamed, help, someone, help. Jin Huan and Li Chen did not witness the scene of Zia kicking her. Qingwan wailed miserably. It hurt so much, Jin Huan did not trust her. What drama is she putting on now? Qingwan pretended to be weak. Hoping to attract attention, I twisted my ankle and lost my balance, falling down the stairs. Luckily, there's a thick carpet on the floor, so it is just a superficial wound. Just in time, Huo Li Chen was here. It was best to take the opportunity to perform in front of him. Qingwan looked up at Li Chen. Jin Huan could not help but wonder, did she fall on her own, or was she pushed? She saw Ziya walking down the stairs. It was not hard for Jin Huan to guess the reason. I told you. Do not associate with rich kids. Qingwan did not dare mention her. It is not related to anyone else. I was just careless and fell. Jin Huan was at her wit's end with this situation. You are good. I admire you. No wonder you can befriend so many rich people. You are really good at enduring. But she still kindly reached out to help Qingwan. All right, get up. Jin Huan asked about Qingwan's health. Are you okay? She pretended to be in pain. Wah, it really hurts. Qingwan deliberately walked unsteadily. A good opportunity is here. She moved towards Li Chen. Ouch. He quickly backed away, causing Qingwan to fall face first onto the ground. Jin Huan wanted to curse, but had to restrain herself. Could you be any more shameless? Li Chen raised his hands to prove his innocence. I did not touch her. Qingwan trembled all over. It hurts. Xiaoshuan ran over to check on the situation. Qingwan turned to fawn over Xiaoshuan. Brother Xiaoshuan, wah. He gently coaxed her. Qingwan, do not cry. Li Chen kindly reminded him, Big brother, you do not know what just happened. This girl is not as simple as you think. She is not suitable for you. Xiaoshuan stubbornly refused to listen. Whether she is suitable or not is my decision. Qingwan, let us go. Even Jin Huan had to praise her. Su Qingwan's acting is really superb. She is as gentle as a lamb in front of men. She chatted with Li Chen. Your big brother's taste is really something. He clenched his fists in helplessness. My big brother has depression. The more Jin Huan knew, the more confused she felt. Why is that? The Huo family is a prestigious family. Huo Xiaoxuan was adopted at a young age, and I heard that Madame Huo treats him even better than her own son, giving him so much money that he can't spend it all. His life is too good. Why does he have depression? Li Chen suddenly grabbed Jin Huan's hand. Follow me. She wanted to know where they were going. Where to? The yacht was decorated in a modern style. She refused Li Chen's invitation. No, I can't go with you. I have not finished dealing with the sponsor's issue. He coldly replied, It is not up to you to decide. Li Chen skillfully wrapped his arm around Jin Huan's waist. She panicked as Li Chen carried her away. Huo Li Chen, what are you doing? He made up an excuse to make Jin Huan listen obediently. Don't move around, or I will throw you into the sea for the sharks to eat. She hesitated before finally speaking. You, how dare you, my butt? Jin Huan shouted, as Li Chen carried her over his shoulder. She was annoyed by Li Chen's actions. Huo Li Chen, you are such a jerk, I hate you. Jin Huan was surprised when he grabbed her hand. Li Chen suddenly gave her a sweet kiss. The bright moonlight witnessed the scene of the two people's lips touching. Jin Huan quickly reminded him, Huo Li Chen, do not do this. Li Chen frankly shared with her, Su Jin Huan, I do not want to hold back anymore. She was more worried about other things. That night was just a fleeting affair. We do not have any relationship. What does he take me for? Xiao Yuan is still in the hospital, waiting. I can't make any more mistakes. Jin Huan quickly pushed him away. She ran to another place to avoid embarrassment. Jin Huan kept urging, Huo Li Chen, steer the yacht back. Li Chen lightly touched his lips. It is just you and me here. If I wanted to force you, do you think you could escape? Li Chen continued to tease Jin Huan. Su Jin Huan, you are so naive. But I like it. She would think badly if he did anything wrong. How dare you? I will jump off right now. Jin Huan was sure of one thing. No one can force me to do anything I do not want to do. Lai Chen challenged her to do as she said. Jump then, jump if you dare. Don't blame me for not reminding you there are sharks around this sea. Jin Huan remained optimistic. You do not have to scare me. If there were sharks, the sea would not be so calm. He took another step towards Jin Huan. That is right. I am just scaring you. Lai Chen personally promised her. So do you dare to jump? If you do not dare, then come here obediently. Don't you need money? I can give you as much as you want. Jin Huan could not help but panic. Huo Lie Chen, are you investigating me? He was still being glib. I thought everyone knew about your affairs. Lai Chen wanted to be her backer. Why do you have to struggle so hard alone? Su Jin Huan, as long as you nod, your needs are my needs. Bullying you is bullying me. Jin Huan was speechless. The promise sounded so sweet. Any girl who heard it would be moved. She smiled meaningfully, but Jin Huan had her own views. Huo Li Chen, you have always been the darling of the heavens since you were young. Do you think others do not even have the right to refuse you? Jin Huan just wanted to ask Lai Chen again. Is that still not enough? What else do you want from me? He sincerely expressed his feelings. I have never felt this way about any other girl. You are the only one. She suddenly said goodbye. All right, then thank me for giving you a vivid and interesting experience. Ha! Jin Huan jumped into the sea as she said. Lai Chen panicked and called out her name, Su Jin Huan. He hurried to the stairs. Damn it, I said there were sharks in this sea. Lai Chen could not hide his panic. Damn it, Su Jin Huan. You are good, you really have guts. Jin Huan still closed her eyes tightly underwater. She suddenly opened her eyes to look around. Jin Huan immediately swam forward. I see it. The yacht is right in front. She did not understand why she could not swim anymore. Jin Huan guessed the reason. Did seaweed wrap around my leg? Her legs wiggled underwater. Why can't I get free? Jin Huan suddenly choked on water and panicked. It is over. She sank gradually due to exhaustion. I have held my breath to the limit. Jin Huan did not know what to do. Could it be that I am going to die here? Suddenly, a pair of hands touched Jin Huan's cheek. Lai Chen gave Jin Huan air while she was drowning. She was embarrassed because she knew it was him, Huo Li Chen. Lai Chen gently removed the seaweed from her leg. He and Jin Huan quickly swam towards the yacht. She took a deep breath and exhaled. Jin Huan could breathe a sigh of relief. While sitting on the yacht, I am saved. She suddenly thought again, wait, where's Huo Li Chen? Jin Huan was confused because she did not see him on the yacht, Huo Li Chen. 2 lines of tears streamed down her cheeks. Huo Li Chen, where are you? Huo Li Chen, do not scare me. Come up here quickly. Jin Huan tried to stay calm and called out his name loudly. Huo Li Chen. She fell into a state of hesitation. Huo Li Chen, I should hate him. Jin Huan could not stop her tears. Huo Li Chen, you jerk. But he saved me again and again. Pull. She actually wanted to jump into the sea again. Huo Li Chen, you must not have an accident. Wait for me. I will come and save you too. Lai Chen's hand was firmly gripping the yacht. Jin Huan was a little startled. Huo Li Chen. She gently asked, are you okay? Jin Huan hit him hard, as if expressing her feelings. You jerk, where did you go? You scared me to death. Lai Chen teased her. So you also know how to worry about me. I thought you were really indifferent to me. Jin Huan awkwardly explained, who is worried about you? I am worried about myself. What would I do if you died? I do not know how to drive a boat. Before she could react, Lai Chen gave Jin Huan a sweet kiss. Bubbles of love surrounded the kiss of the 2 people. She did not know what to say. Huo Li Chen, you. Jin Huan sneezed because she was underwater for too long. Lai Chen was worried about her condition. You are hurt. He lifted Jin Huan up. There is a bathroom and clothes in the living room on the boat. Go change. The living room of the yacht was decorated in a modern style. She trembled all over. Lai Chen put medicine in Jin Huan's mouth. This is a fever reducer. Take it. He always treated her considerately. Drink some warm water too. Be good. Jin Huan angrily snatched the glass of water. Don't treat me like a pet. Lai Chen did not understand what was in her head. Why do you have such strange thoughts? Jin Huan realized that his intentions were not simple. Isn't this the trick of you rich men? Treating women like toys? He moved closer to her. Your imagination is really rich. Jin Huan blushed slightly, shyly. looking at Lai Chen. It is just that you are too forgetful. You forgot what you said at the club last night so quickly. Lai Chen asked in confusion. Huh, what did I say? Jin Huan felt that she could not explain and turned her back in anger. HMPH. Lai Chen came closer and gently asked, what exactly did I say to make you angry until now? He paused, as if realizing something. Looking at Jin Huan sleeping soundly, he wondered. She is asleep, curled up in the blanket like a caterpillar. Lai Chen sighed and chuckled to himself. Cute. Thinking this, he stood up and gently picked up Jin Huan's dress on the chair. Lai Chen entered the bathroom and turned on the faucet. He carefully and attentively washed Jin Huan's dress. Suddenly, Lai Chen's eyes fell on something. Ha! It turned out that Jin Huan's underwear was in the pile of clothes. He froze, staring blankly, thinking, so small. Suddenly, Lai Chen stiffened. His face flushed red, wondering, am I possessed? Lai Chen was embarrassed, telling himself, what am I thinking, Huo Li Chen? You are really something. After a while, Jin Huan's clothes were carefully hung up by him. Lai Chen stood in front of Jin Huan, who was fast asleep, wondering, sleeping without any guard at all, do you trust me that much? His hand reached out, lightly touching her rosy cheek. Lai Chen carefully approached Jin Huan. I can't help but teach you a lesson. He leaned close to her hair, gently teasing. Suddenly, Lai Chen tensed up, clenching his fists. He stood up, covering his flushed face with his hands. Lai Chen sighed, looking embarrassed. Forget it. It seems I can only rely on my own hands. Just then, Jin Huan frowned slightly and cried softly. She sat up and hurriedly asked, what time is it? Suddenly, Jin Huan heard a soft groan coming from the side. Ah. She turned her head to look. Huo Li Chen. Lai Chen frowned slightly, his cheeks flushed, breathing heavily. Phew. His body trembled slightly, groaning softly. Suddenly, seeing Jin Huan's eyes, he startled and blushed. Ah, you are awake. Jin Huan froze, her eyes wide open. What Jin Huan saw before her was Lai Chen's eggplant. She was shocked, her face turning red with embarrassment. Eggplant. In the next second, Jin Huan's piercing scream rang out. Huo Li Chen, you are really shameless. Over here, at the villa, the golden light shone warmly on the scene. Xiao Xuan held Qingwan's hand tightly. He could not bear to leave her. Qingwan. Qingwan also called his name softly, Xiao Xuan. In her heart, she secretly regretted. What a pity I heard that Xiao Xuan is only an adopted son. How great would it be if he were Huo's biological son? She began to tear up. There is something I must tell you, Xiao Xuan. Let us break up. Xiao Xuan was struck by lightning and hurriedly asked the reason. Why, we have always been very good. I said I wanted to marry you. I will take responsibility. Qingwan looked pitiful, raising her hand to wipe away her tears. Don't you understand? We are originally people of two different worlds. I am not worthy of you. Please let go. Xiao Xuan grabbed her hand, worriedly asking, did my family say something to you? She immediately shook off his hand, explaining, I have only seen my identity clearly. Xiao Xuan. I wish you happiness in the future. In the next second, Qingwan turned to leave. Xiao Xuan despaired, continuously calling her name, Qingwan, Qingwan. However, what answered him was only the decisive sound of the door closing. Qingwan returned home. Her spirit was extremely happy and relaxed. Madame Su curiously asked, what is the matter? Qingwan calmly sat down on the chair. She crossed her arms, answering with a confident voice, Mother, did not you want me to marry into a wealthy family? It will be soon. You will achieve that dream. Madame Su's eyes lit up at hearing this, eagerly asking, really? Are you going to be a couple with the eldest son of the Huo family? Qingwan's face showed a clear expression of disdain. How could it be him? He is just an adopted son. Qingwan recounted to Madame Su, Madame Huo hates Su Jinhuan very much. She has already declared it. As long as I help her separate them, she will not mistreat me. If I can help her get rid of Su Jinhuan, she will definitely agree to let me marry into the Huo family. Madame Su was happy, hugging her tightly. Oh my God! Qingwan, you are so amazing. You are really my daughter. What did I say? My daughter must have the fate of being the madam of a wealthy family, so that I can also become a prestigious lady. Qingwan smiled with calculation. Happiness must be seized by oneself. I must of course be superior to everyone else. Her eyes shone with a sinister light. I must think of a plan that kills two birds with one stone. On Jinhwan's side, she had just woken up from a good sleep. She sat on the bed, sulking, thinking, last night, I actually thought about Huo Chen doing that thing which made it 2 in the morning before I could fall asleep again. Suddenly, a familiar voice rang out, making Jinhwan freeze. You are awake. Lai Chen walked over with a bowl of porridge, showing concern. Are you hungry? I cooked porridge. Have some. He put the bowl of porridge down beside her. Jinhwan unexpectedly asked, You know how to cook porridge too. She suspiciously stared at the bowl of porridge in front of her. Lai Chen sat down next to her, trying to reassure her, It is not going to poison you. He threatened in a low voice. This is the first time I have entered the kitchen. If you dare to complain, I will throw you into the sea for the sharks to eat. Jinhwan gently stirred the steaming hot bowl of porridge on the table. She happily ate one bite at a time. Hee hee, this is really the style of porridge cooked by rich kids. The ingredients are all luxury goods. There is almost more seafood than rice. Lai Chen was confused. What are you laughing at? Is me cooking porridge for you that funny? Jinhwan looked at him, a radiant smile on her face. No, I am just too happy. No one has ever cooked porridge for me when I am sick before. She scooped up a spoonful of hot porridge, gently blowing on it. As soon as she ate the first spoonful, Jinhwan exclaimed in surprise, So delicious! She happily ate and praised, So delicious! The shrimp is chewy, and the taste is fresh and rich. Lai Chen embarrassedly said softly, Your past days were so hard, I want to... His hand reached out, cupping Jinhwan's face. Lai Chen seriously confessed, Be my girlfriend. Jinhwan's eyes widened, surprised. What? She wondered. Did I hear wrong? Lai Chen hugged her, repeating once again, Su Jinhwan, I am serious. Be my girlfriend. Jinhwan hesitantly looked at him. I? She was flustered in her heart. Is he serious? Lai Chen smiled lightly, declaring domineeringly, You did not say anything, so I will take it as you agreeing. After speaking, he suddenly swooped down and placed a kiss on her lips. The kiss deepened. Jinhwan struggled to push him away. Boom! Lai Chen retreated, asking in confusion, What is the matter? Jinhwan awkwardly explained, I was too shocked. I did not have time to say anything. I do not... Lai Chen worriedly asked, Does that mean you are rejecting me? Jinhwan avoided his gaze. If I had any actions that made you think I have feelings for you, I am sorry. The hand that was tightly holding Jinhwan's hand gently released. Lai Chen turned his back and left. Jinhwan sadly sighed. He must be very angry. She went out to the balcony, looking into the distance, thinking, Being told off by me like that, he lost all face. He must hate me to death. Suddenly, Jinhwan realized something was wrong. Wait, why can't I see my panties? She hurriedly bent down to search, wondering, could it be that it was blown away by the wind? Suddenly there was a loud call, Su Jinhwan, causing her to freeze. Lai Chen quickly grabbed Jinhwan's hand, pulling her back. What are you doing? He scolded loudly, both reproachful and worried. Did you think you could avoid me by jumping into the sea? Your body is so weak. You even had a fever last night. Do you want to die? Jinhwan hurriedly explained. Do you think I want to jump into the sea? Do I look like such a desperate person? Lai Chen released her, turning to another place. In short, if you do not want to see me, just say one word. Huo Lai Chen will not pester you anymore. Jinhwan embarrassedly explained, it is not your fault, it is, I can't see my panties. Only then did Lai Chen startle, glancing at her, panties. He turned to look at her, looking angry. Don't tell me you thought I hid your panties. What am I in your eyes, a pervert? Jinhwan's face flushed red. Number, she secretly reproached. Who told you to do suspicious things last night? Lai Chen pulled her inside. Rest assured, if I wanted to, then I would ask directly in front of you. I asked the room service to find it and bring it to you already. Jinhwan was still shy. It is not necessary. After a long time, the two of them finally set foot on the beach. Jinhwan breathed a sigh of relief. Phew, finally on land. The feeling of setting foot on solid ground is so reassuring. Lai Chen approached, considerately putting his jacket on her shoulders. The wind is strong here. Let me take you to the hospital. Jinhwan immediately refused. No need. Thank you, Huo Lai Chen. She thought, now that we are off the boat, let us go our separate ways. Jinhwan's eyes drooped, telling herself, if I do not want to get too involved with him, then it is best to go our separate ways. Thinking this, she quickly left. Lai Chen stood behind, looking at her back with regret. This woman really knows how to make people angry. Su Jinhwan, are you really so cold? Lai Chen frowned, silently pleading. Turn back, Su Jinhwan. As long as you turn back, I will rush to hug you without hesitation. But she walked straight into the taxi. Jinhwan decisively closed the door. Seeing this, Lai Chen's face darkened, vowing in his heart, Su Jinhwan, you are good if I ever look for you again. I am a dog. Jinhwan looked out the taxi window, softly calling his name, Huo Lie Chen. She was sad, tears streaming down her cheeks. If Xiao Yuan was not sick, I would definitely not hesitate like this. But Xiao Yuan is still struggling between life and death. How can I allow myself to jump into a relationship at this time? Jinhwan raised her hand, gently wiping away her tears. Now I need to control my heart. After regaining her composure, her eyes shone with determination. Powerful, I do not have the strength to bear the joy and pain of love. I can't fall. At a house, the lights flashed in the night. Jinhwan returned, gently opening the door and entering. Madame Su immediately noticed. While playing mahjong with her friends, she spoke sarcastically as Jinhwan passed by. Daughters these days are really hard to manage, not coming home to sleep all night. And coming home wearing men's clothes. Madame Su continued to complain. I am a stepmother, how dare I ask? Jinhwan stepped closer. Whose coat are you wearing? She stood in front of Jinhwan, sarcastically. Sister, I have already advised you, do not associate with those men who are not upright if you accidentally get pregnant. Do not say, you do not know who the father is. Jinhwan did not care, brushed past Qingwan. Get out of the way, do not go crazy in front of me. She frowned in dissatisfaction, immediately feigning a fall. Ouch. Qingwan turned her head, her eyes shining with a fake pitiful look. Sister, I am just concerned about you. Seeing this scene, Madame Su's friends began to discuss. What Qingwan said is not wrong. Daughters should know how to respect themselves. If you do not want to hear it, you can't push people away. After all, they are half-sisters. How can the older sister be so heartless? Madame Su stood up abruptly, angrily, saying, Su Jinhwan, you are going too far. She stared towards Jinhwan. Madame Su rushed over, raising her hand intending to slap her. Even if I have the name of a cruel stepmother, I must teach you a lesson today. A hand quickly grabbed Madame Su's hand. Jinhwan looked at her, coldly warning, Try touching me, do not think I do not dare to fight back. Madame Su clenched her fist, her face darkening. You look down on your elders too much. You have no manners at all. Her friends immediately came closer. This child. A stepmother is also a mother. How can you be so unfilial? Jinhwan crossed her arms, unafraid. Someone who wanted to kick my aunt's biological mother out by framing her with an affair and becoming a mistress to take her place. Would you call that person mother? She pointed at Qingwan, who was sitting on the stairs. The age difference between me and her is less than half a year. Anyone with a brain would figure this out. Jinhwan turned to leave, not forgetting to mock. Of course, if you like being friends with mistresses, then I have nothing to say. Hearing this, Su Madame's friends immediately started to gather their belongings to leave. Madame Su, I did not expect you to be such a despicable person. I do not think we are suitable to be friends. Goodbye? Madame Su hurriedly tried to stop them. Don't listen to that little brat's nonsense. This is a misunderstanding. But no one believed Su Madame. They walked away, saying, Misunderstanding, do you think we are fools? These days, mistresses are so shameless. I hate mistresses the most. Don't look for me again, let us go. Jinhwan glanced at the scene and smiled softly. HMPH. This is what they call reaping what you sow. Her phone vibrated, displaying the caller ID, Director Mobile. She answered the call. Jinhwan spoke first. Hello, Director. The person on the other end of the line shouted, Do you not want to work anymore? You have been gone for a day and have not been seen. Don't think that just because you have young Master Huo backing you up, you can blatantly neglect your work. We can't afford. Then, the other end hung up. Jinhwan looked at the phone in her hand and frowned. That day, Sister He was not there, and Xiao Hong volunteered to help me ask for leave. But the result was... Her eyes became sad. My living allowance has been cut off. I can't lose this job. The next day, at work, Xiao Hong rushed over and apologized with her hands clasped. Xiao Su, I am so sorry. Because my boyfriend suddenly broke up with me, I forgot to help you ask for leave. Jinhwan calmly applied lipstick. This was originally my responsibility. If I did not do it well, I can't blame anyone else. It is okay. She closed the lipstick and turned to smile slightly at her. I'm going to work now. Xiao Hong waved goodbye. Bye, see you later. In the next second, she changed her attitude. Tisk. Xiao Hong turned around and looked in the mirror, thinking, I really do not understand what young Master Huo likes about her, that he protects her so much. She just has a little bit of looks. What is so great about her? A figure outside heard everything she said. It was Jin Huan. She quickly walked away. Because she was walking fast, she accidentally bumped into someone. Ah! The man staggered, causing Jin Huan to quickly warn, Hey, be careful. It turned out to be Xiao Xuan. He was so drunk. Jin Huan quickly supported him. Alcohol, I want to drink alcohol, give me alcohol. After seeing him clearly, she was surprised. Huo Xiao Xuan? Jin Huan widened her eyes and hurriedly asked, Is that you? Why are you so drunk? She remembered that Madame Huo had said in an interview that she was attracted to Huo Xiao Xuan the first time she saw him at the orphanage. Xiao Xuan slowly opened his eyes, breathing with difficulty. Jin Huan observed his eyes. Because Huo Xiao Xuan's eyes were very similar to hers. They are a bit similar, both are beautiful phoenix eyes. He hurriedly hugged Jin Huan, mistaking her because he was drunk. Jin Huan, do not leave me. I like you so much, I really like you, please. Jin Huan quickly pushed Xiao Xuan away. Young Master Huo, you have mistaken me. I am not Su Qinghuan, I am Su Jin Huan. Let go. But he did not listen and still wanted to hug her. Qinghuan, do not leave me. Do not break up with me. Jin Huan pushed Xiao Xuan away while trying to explain, You have really mistaken me. Let go of me. From afar, Li Chen was approaching, not knowing when he'd return to this place. He thought absently, I just wanted to find some fun, not to find her. But suddenly, his eyes widened. In front of him were Jin Huan and Xiao Xuan. He unconsciously called out, Su Jin Huan. Li Chen's face darkened. Jin Huan panicked and recognized him. Huo Li Chen. Xiao Xuan rushed over, wanting to kiss her. I like you, I want to marry you. Come home with me to the Huo family. Jin Huan tried to avoid him. Don't. Li Chen clenched his fist. He said unhappily, So this is the reason you rejected me. He quickly turned to leave, making Jin Huan even more panicked. It is not like that. You have misunderstood, Huo Li Chen. Xiao Xuan, beside her, drunkenly begged, I will listen to you. I will listen to everything you say. If you tell me not to donate marrow, I won't donate it anymore. Hearing this, Jin Huan could not believe it, and asked curiously, What did you say? You were originally planning to donate marrow to a child with leukemia. Xiao Xuan rested his head on her shoulder, repeatedly begging, I won't donate anymore, Qinghuan. I won't donate anymore, do not leave me. Jin Huan was excited, tears streaming down her face. It is Huo Xiao Xuan. So, the donor was him. He changed his mind because of Su Xinghuan's request. Suddenly, two bodyguards approached and lifted Xiao Xuan up. Jin Huan suddenly asked, Hey, what are you doing? A bodyguard who was supporting him turned around and replied, Young Master ordered us to take Huo Xiao Xuan away. Jin Huan hurriedly chased after them. But, wait. She stopped, watching the bodyguard put Xiao Xuan into the car. Wait a moment, about the marrow donation. Suddenly, Jin Huan was blocked. In front of her was Li Chen's angry face. She called softly, Huo Li Chen. She quickly begged him, Huo Li Chen, please move aside a little. I will explain later. Li Chen grabbed Jin Huan's hand tightly. I won't let you get close to him. She struggled, wanting to leave. What are you saying? It hurts. Let go of me. Li Chen looked at Jin Huan painfully. I thought that after yesterday, you would treat me differently. A bodyguard stood behind him and respectfully greeted, Young Master. Li Chen ordered, Take the eldest young master home. The bodyguard replied, Yes. Jin Huan pushed Li Chen away forcefully. Let go of me, Huo Li Chen. You did not even ask for my opinion. He frowned and quickly hugged her tightly. He gently picked Jin Huan up in his arms. She shouted loudly, Ah, what are you doing? At a large, luxurious hotel in the city. Inside the room, a loud shout rang out. Ah. Jin Huan was thrown hard onto the bed. What are you doing? Li Chen's hand propped down, blocking her under him. Why? His face showed pain and despair. Why is it my brother? Li Chen pinched Jin Huan's chin, frightening her. In a tone mixed with sadness, Li Chen said, I am the true heir of the Huo family. I can give you anything you want. Do you hate me that much? Jin Hwan pulled his hand away and shouted anxiously, "I hate you. Yes, I hate you very much." Her eyes looked at him coldly. "Is having money such a big deal? I hate you more than anyone else. I hate you the most." Lai Chen lowered his eyes when he heard Jin Hwan tell him to leave. "Get out of the way." As she stood up, Lai Chen grabbed her shoulder and questioned, "Su Jin Hwan, do you hate me so much that you went to choose my older brother?" Lai Chen said angrily with a dark face, "Could it be that he satisfies you more than I do in bed?" Jin Hwan turned her head in shock and shouted, "What are you saying?" she thought to herself. No wonder people often say that the most hurtful words often come from the mouth of the person you care about the most. Then she lifted her foot and kicked Lai Chen in the chest. "Hu Lai Chen, go die." Jin Hwan's face darkened. She said angrily, "I do not want to see you again." Lai Chen ignored the pain and propped himself up, saying, "Don't want to see me again? Then I am a customer in your store now. I want you to serve me." Jin Hwan stepped back, calmer, and said, "Young Master Huo, as long as you agree, there are many beautiful women outside waiting to serve you." Lai Chen crossed his arms and emphasized each word, "I only want you." Jin Hwan was angry but still smiled. "Okay, I understand. I will go get you some wine right away," she thought. "I will get the most expensive kind. I have to rip him off." There were many bottles of wine on the table now. Lai Chen was still drinking wine. Jin Hwan poured wine while reminding him, "You have drunk too much. Do you want to get alcohol poisoning?" she thought to herself. "I originally wanted to let him drink the expensive kind to earn a big commission, but drinking like this is too harmful to his health." Lai Chen shook his glass and sighed. "What position do you have to manage me?" Jin Hwan felt guilty and hugged the wine bottle, saying, "Even if it is just a stranger drinking like this, I would still advise you." Li Yan was shocked and shouted, "Stranger!" He felt hurt, thinking, "In your heart, am I just a stranger?" He slammed the wine glass on the table and ordered, "Pour wine." Jin Hwan looked at the wine bottle and said, "It is empty. I will go get another bottle." Lai Chen watched her leave in silence. Suddenly, Lai Chen's face turned pale, and he clutched his stomach, groaning, Anji peeked in and asked, "Young master." He said worriedly, "Young master? Do not you want to live anymore? Your stomach is already weak. Why are you drinking so much wine?" Lai Chen frowned tightly, clearly very uncomfortable. Anji reported cautiously, Cough cough, I have already found out. 3 days ago, Sutuo asked her colleague Xiao Hong to ask for leave for her. Xiao Hong did not help her ask for leave, and the manager got angry and called her to force her to work tonight. That person named Xiao Hong is known for having poor character and often makes things difficult for her colleagues. And the manager is always strict with Sutuo. Lai Chen crossed his arms and said coldly, "You know how to handle it, right?" Anji replied quickly, "Yes, I understand." Anji reminded him worriedly, "Young master, you want to see Sutuo and do not want her to work in another place, but you do not need to use alcohol to torture your stomach." Li Chen angrily picked up a fruit on the table and threw it away, saying, "Who said I am doing it for her? Do I need a reason to drink wine?" Anji caught it, eating it while muttering, "Yes, yes, yes, love always brings hatred, and this hatred is endless." Lai Chen was silent, glancing at him coldly. Seeing this, Anji hurriedly left, saying, "Sutuo is back. I will go first, young master." Jin Hwan poured wine into the glass. Lai Chen calmly drank the wine in one gulp. Then he slammed the glass down. He rubbed his forehead, muttering, What is going on?" Lai Chen frowned tightly and asked, "I am so dizzy. What did you put in the wine?" Jin Hwan said sternly, "Do you want more?" Lai Chen held his head with one hand, panting. You dare to drug me?" Jin Hwan reached out and hugged him. "Assistant Shen told me that your stomach is not good." She hugged him gently and said with concern, "If you drink more, I am afraid you will die here." Then she laid him down. Jin Hwan propped herself up, looking at him, saying, "It is just a strong sleeping pill. Rest for a while." Lai Chen grabbed Jin Hwan's hand and weakly called out her name, Su Jin Hwan. He frowned and sweated, muttering, "You can't leave." Seeing this, Jin Hwan sighed helplessly, thinking, "This young man, he is still so domineering even when he is asleep." She leaned down close to his face and whispered, "Huo Li Chen, give me some time. Wait for me, okay?" Finally, she wiped her tears and called An Jai, saying, "Assistant Shen, come in." Jin Hwan was surprised, thinking, "Why can't I pull it out?" She used force to pull her hand out, wondering, is he really asleep? Why is his grip so strong? Analysis, he walked over and said, "It is okay, let me. Jinhuan replied a little awkwardly, "Sorry, I put too much medicine, he will probably sleep until tomorrow." Then she turned to leave, reminding him, "Assistant Shin, I will leave young Master Huo to you. I am going to work." He immediately explained, "Sutuo, you might not believe it, but you are the young master's first love. He always acts on impulse, is domineering and strong, but I believe it is because he cares too much about you. If he has any behavior that makes you feel uncomfortable, I hope you can understand." Hearing this, Jin Huan was not at all moved, replying, "In everyone's life, there are many choices and tasks. Love is only a small part." And Ji could only reply disappointedly, "What you said makes sense." He looked at the unconscious Li Chen and said, "Young master, this is enough. Madame Huo has already arranged who will become the young mistress." Jin Huan left silently, but her heart could not help but ache a little, and she reminded herself, "So Jin Huan, you should wake up too." She closed her eyes, thinking, "No one can wait for you forever." Just then, another colleague hurriedly came over to inform her, "Xiao Su, the personnel department has a small adjustment. You will now go to the front desk to help." Jin Huan was a little surprised and asked why, she thought. The front desk does not have as many commissions as the reception department. The colleague smiled and replied, "It is just a temporary replacement. There will be compensation, and you won't earn less than you do now. It is also good. Being at the front desk is relaxed, comfortable, and free. Go quickly." Hearing this, she happily agreed, saying, "Okay." Jin Huan followed behind, wondering, "That is strange. Why did such a good thing fall on me?" She still said happily, "Let us go. I will take you there." Finally, the two arrived at the front desk. She quickly took out her phone and sent a text message, saying, "Nuan Yu, I have found it out." Jin Huan told Nuan Yu all the information, saying, "The donor is the Huo family's eldest young master, Huo Shaoshuan. It was Su Qing Wan who stopped him from donating." Nuan Yu quickly replied, "You found it out so quickly, you deserve to be called boss." Nuan Yu comforted her happily, saying, "Don't worry, money is not a problem. I have money here. As long as we can do the surgery, I will help you raise enough money. Thank you, we are sisters in this life, and we will be sisters in the next life." Hearing this, she was very touched, thinking, "Is Nuan Yu the compensation that heaven gave me?" Jin Huan thought to herself, "Having such a close friend, I should not be greedy and ask for anything more." Just then, Anjie supported Lai Chen as they came down. She pretended not to see them, but her mind was constantly distracted, thinking, "I am still a little embarrassed." Lai Chen uncomfortably tried to open his mouth to speak, saying, "Su Jin Huan, you heartless woman, I, this young master, will never pay attention to you again." He asserted, "If I do, I will be a dog." Seeing her standing there, Anji hurriedly explained, saying, "He is talking nonsense, just talking nonsense. Sutuo, do not mind it." He looked at him and thought to himself, "Young master is pretending to be asleep, right?" Jin Huan spoke up, saying, "Words spoken in a dream are the truest words. I hope your young master remembers what he said. Do not be a dog, son." And Ji smiled awkwardly, supporting Lai Chen as they left, thinking, "Embarrassing. It is really too embarrassing." Just then, Jin Huan's phone had a notification. Nuan Yu sent her a message, saying, "My aunt has a way to contact Huo Shaoshuan. If Su Qingwan is heartless, then do not blame us for being unjust. Let us start from Huo Shaoshuan first." After reading it, she thought to herself, "From Huo Shaoshuan's drunken word." On Lai Chen's side, it was morning. While in a daze, he kept thinking about her, Su Jinghuan. A voice rang in his ear, "Lai Chen, are you awake?" Li Chen sat up abruptly and asked, confused, "Lin Zia, why are you here?" Zia smiled shyly and brought over a bowl of soup, saying, "I came to visit Auntie, and just happened to see Assistant Shen bringing you home. Auntie told me to stay and take care of you. Hangovers cause headaches, so drink some hangover soup." He shouted angrily, "Get out of here." She was startled. Zia hurriedly chased after him, calling, "Lai Chen, wait." Lai Chen said loudly and slowly, "Butler." Jinny came out and replied, "Young master." He rubbed his head uncomfortably and ordered, "From now on, do not make your own decisions and bring random girls in front of me anymore." Hearing this, she smiled and replied, "Young master, Lin is not just any kind of woman. She is the person that the madam has chosen to be your future wife." Hearing this, Lai Chen said seriously, "Who I want to marry is my business. Does she want to hold a wedding? Then I support her remarrying." He said unhappily, "If I do not even have that freedom, then I would rather not be a member of the Huo family anymore. Seeing this, Jenny hurriedly reminded him, saying, "Young master, please do not say that. The madam will be angry. You are her biological son, and she cares about you very much." Lai Chen walked in leisurely, not forgetting to remind her, saying, "When I and my older brother were sick together when we were young, she was only by his side." He turned his head to look back and emphasized, saying, "Now that I am older, she is even more strict with me." Jenny hurried to explain, saying, "It is not like that." But before she could say anything, Lai Chen slammed the door shut. She said, a little helplessly, "Young master." The woman sitting by the bed said sadly, "Shao Xuan, poor child." After hearing Jenny's report, she asked a little unhappily, "He wants to decide his own marriage. Lai Chen really said that?" She replied carefully, saying, "Young master also said that if he does not even have that little bit of freedom, then he would rather not be a member of the Huo family anymore." She grabbed the hand of her son, who was lying on the hospital bed, and said strictly, saying, "Who does not want to be free? I do too. I also long for freedom." She emphasized especially, saying, "Everything he has today is given to him by the Huo family. Marriage is a major event, and naturally the interests of the family must be put first. Otherwise, would not that be ungrateful?" Then she calmed down, took a deep breath, and said, saying, "Pooh, I know he is in the first stage of love, being a man. It is inevitable that he will be impulsive and impetuous." Madame Huo ordered, "Go and arrange things with Lin Ziya. The old man values this marriage very much. There can be no mistakes." Jenny replied, "Yes, what about the young master?" She said without hesitation, saying, "If he wants to be free, we will see if he can escape from the old man's grasp. It is not that simple." At the Huo Corporation, a loud voice rang out, saying, "Shen Anji, where are you?" Lai Chen walked into the company like a gust of wind, shouting, saying, "Shen Anji?" Anjai replied carefully, saying, "Young master is here. I just made you a cup of coffee." He walked over in a bad mood and said irritably, saying, "You were the one who brought me back yesterday, right? Put it down, come here and fight me a few rounds." He backed away nervously, finding an excuse to refuse, saying, "Young master, I just finished eating. I should not exercise. If you want to fight, let me call the bodyguard for you." Before he could slip away, Lai Chen grabbed his hand and pulled him hard, saying, "You are really full and have nothing better to do." His whole body was full of murderous aura, he ordered, saying, "Spit out everything you know." Anji cried out in pain, saying, Young master, have mercy." Fortunately, the phone rang like a lifesaver. He hurriedly reminded him, saying, "Young master, there is a phone call. You answer it first. Serious business is more important." Seeing this, Lai Chen stopped and said unhappily, saying, "HMPH, I will let you off." Anji hurriedly answered the phone, saying, "Hello, hello." The look on his face when he heard what was said was very surprised, saying, What?" Anji turned around in panic and reported, saying, "Young master, something happened." In the living room, a voice said, saying, "No one is answering the phone," and her family said that she did not go home last night, but her workplace confirmed that she left work as usual yesterday. Nuan Yu anxiously recounted, saying, "I can't contact anyone. Recently, the person who is closest to Sutuo is your president." And Ji secretly glanced at Lai Chen's face and replied, saying, "Okay, we know. You can go back first." Nuan Yu became even more agitated and rushed over, asking, saying, "Su Jinhuan's phone can still be called, but no one is answering it. She must have had something happen. I will just say it straight. Did you hide her away?" Ji hurried to hold her back and ordered, saying, "Don't make any more trouble. Go home and wait for news. Guards, please escort Nuan Yu home for me." Nuan Yu could not keep calm and shouted loudly, saying, "What? Let go of me. I have to find Sutuo, hey." Seeing Lai Chen leave leisurely, Anji was a little surprised, thinking, "Young master, is he going to interfere in this matter?" Lai Chen spoke up and ordered, saying, "Bring people to extract all the cameras within 100 miles, search every corner, and investigate everyone." Anji hurriedly handed over a bag, saying, "Young master, this is Sutuo's handbag." He pointed to the woman they had caught and explained, "This woman, named Xiao Hong, used Miss Su's phone for multiple purchases outside and was caught red-handed by our people." Xiao Hong trembled with fear, trying to explain, "Young Master Huo, this has nothing to do with me. Su Jinhuan was kidnapped. I just happened to pass by and picked up her bag. It really has nothing to do with me." Lai Chen was even more enraged upon hearing this. "You saw her being kidnapped and just left as if nothing happened. You could not even spare a call to the police?" Xiao Hong collapsed, crying loudly. Those people were dressed in black, drove up in a car, and blocked the entrance of the nightclub. They dragged Su Jinhuan into the car and left. I am just a weak girl, I could not do anything, wah. Just then, Yingji arrived with equipment and reported, Master, we have retrieved the surveillance footage from outside the nightclub. He observed the camera and said, Indeed, as Misu left work, she was brazenly pulled into a car. Jinhuan was struggling and shouting, Who are you? Help! Seeing this, Li Qin was filled with worry. He zoomed in on the screen to examine the license plate carefully. Then his expression darkened, and he said unhappily, The Lin family. At the Lin residence at this moment, a voice rang out, Li Chen. Zia walked over happily, smiling as she said, Are you here to see me? Li Chen gripped her hand tightly and emphasized, Lin Zia. He was filled with killing intent, as he said, Tell me, where is Su Jinhuan? Upon hearing this, Zia became agitated and shouted, Su Jinhuan, you came to find me just for her. You treat me heartlessly enough as it is, and now you are humiliating me for another woman. A bodyguard stepped forward to intervene. Young Master Huo, please let our young lady go. If there is something to discuss, let us sit down and talk properly. Ying Ji quickly brought forward evidence, and replied, The surveillance camera recorded the Lin family's car, taking Miss Su away. We just want to know where she is, Miss Lin. Why did you have to do this? Zia pulled her hand back and said, The woman you are looking for is not here. Even if you kill me, it won't change anything. As soon as she finished speaking, Li Chen grabbed her by the neck. He lost his patience and replied, Very well. Zia was being strangled to the point where she could not breathe and could not speak. Ugh. Li Chen did not want to waste time and said, You won't talk, right? Then you can die. The bodyguard cried out in fear, Let go of our young lady. Yingji quickly stepped in to stop him, saying loudly, Master, you can't do that. Yingji repeatedly said, You can't, Master, Miss Lin. Please say it quickly. When our master gets angry, he is capable of anything, the bodyguard said unhappily. Are you crazy? If you really want to persuade her, let me go over there. Zia, with difficulty breathing, tried to say each word. Huff. Huff. I have loved you for so many years. What exactly is wrong with me, Huff? What do I have that is worse than that bitch? Seeing that she was in bad shape, the bodyguard immediately confessed. Let go of our young lady. Su Jinhuan is currently tied up on the west beach of the pier. The weather forecast said there is a high tide coming today. Hearing this, Li Chen released his grip. He immediately turned and left, ordering to the pier. Yingji obeyed and replied, Yes. Zia slumped to the ground, struggling to breathe. Cough, 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 huff, huff. Before leaving, Li Chen did not forget to threaten, If Su Jinhuan loses a single strand of hair, I will make you pay a heavy price. At the pier at this time, it was getting dark, and the tide was beginning to rise. Jinhuan slowly opened her eyes, feeling her surroundings. It is so cold. Seeing that she was tied up, she cried out, Help! Help me! It was dark, and the seawater was starting to rise. Jinhuan could only helplessly cry for help. No, help! The seawater submerged her. Jinhuan was terrified. Could it be that I am really going to die here? She thought of the people she loved, Xiao Yuan, Nuan Yu, and the young man she loves, Huo Li Chen. Jinhuan was submerged in the water, unable to struggle or call for help. A car suddenly stopped. Li Chen called out frantically, Su Jinhuan, Su Jinhuan. Yingjie worriedly tried to stop him. Master, it is too dangerous. Don't go over there. We have already called the rescue team. But he was shouted at, Get out of the way. Li Chen was stunned, his eyes wide. Seeing her sinking in the water, Li Chen shouted with concern, Su Jinhuan. He plunged into the water, constantly calling, Su Jinhuan. Ningji noticed and said, She is tied up, Master. I have a small knife here. Li Chen urged. Hurry up. He reached out to hold her pale face, silently calling, Su Jinhuan. He continuously comforted himself. Hang in there. Then he kissed her, transferring air to her. The ropes were cut, and Yingji shouted happily, It is cut! Jinhuan was lifted out of the water, taking large breaths. Li Chen looked at her gently, as if relieved of all worries. Su Jinhuan, thank goodness, I am so lucky you are still alive. Jinhuan looked at him and forced a smile of comfort. I almost died. Li Chen picked her up. He kissed her forehead to comfort her. I am here now, it is okay, go to sleep. Then shouting out an order to his assistant, to the hospital. Yingji replied, Yes, master, madam. He made a call outside the hospital room. On the other end, someone scolded, "Assistant Shen, what kind of work are you doing? I told you to keep an eye on the master, but you let him cause such a big problem. Now how am I supposed to explain this to the Lin family?" Yingji said with a regretful tone, "I am sorry, it is my fault for not handling things properly." He thought wearily. For so many years, being stuck between these two, I am neither in nor out anymore. The person on the other end asked, "What is the master doing?" Yingji said seriously, "Madam, it is a long story. The Lin family's bodyguards kidnapped Miss Su and almost killed her. The master is very angry." The person's tone was very calm, just almost died. "Is it worth him getting that angry?" Yingji said helplessly. "Miss Su is severely injured. The master has issued orders to make messes." Lin completely discredited and unable to survive in Jincheng anymore. This time he is really serious. I have never seen him this angry. The other end of the line was silent before the call ended. Yingji wearily let out a long breath. "Over here," Lai Chen worriedly treated Jin Huan's wound. "The wound is infected. Bear with it." She hissed in pain. Jin Huan glanced at his gentle appearance. Lai Chen carefully bandaged her wound. Suddenly, Jin Huan sighed and said, "Now that I think about it, last night, there was a drunk man who looked at me and said, if he still cared about me, he is a dog." The image of Lai Chen with puppy ears and a tail barking appeared. Lai Chen cupped her face with both hands. "Su Jin Huan." He blushed embarrassedly but still raised his voice. "Last night, you drugged me. I have not even settled that score with you yet. Are you tired of living?" Jin Huan could not help but laugh, causing his face to turn even redder. Still laughing, "You look like a pufferfish right now." Lai Chen moved his face closer to hers, and their eyes met. He placed a gentle kiss on her lips. Jin Huan blushed as she looked at him. She thought, "Huali Chen, he really cares about me. He is worried about me." Then she raised his face and sighed inwardly. "I must have saved the galaxy in my past life." Jin Huan thanked him in her heart and leaned in to kiss him. "That is why I got to meet him in this life." Lai Chen was unexpectedly speechless. This was Su Jin Huan's first initiative to kiss him. She smiled brightly. "I apologized. Will you forgive me?" Lai Chen seized the opportunity and pounced in for a deep kiss. "Just that, and you want to appease me. You are looking down on me too much." The two shared a passionate kiss. Yingji walked in and was startled by the scene. He quietly left, sighing inwardly, "I really am unlucky. I can't even have peace and quiet while working for a salary." Suddenly the phone rang. Yingji exclaimed in dismay, "Oh crap, the old master." He answered the phone, his voice a little scared. "Old master, is there anything you need?" On the other end of the line, a very stern voice said, "Tell the master to come home immediately." On a clear morning with beautiful sunshine, at a quiet cafe, Su Jin Huan was stirring her coffee when she heard a group of people talking and mentioning her name. That little Su Jin Huan really does not know her place. Those people did not notice that she was sitting right there and continued talking. She even dares to compete for a fiancé with the young lady. Doesn't she know how to look at her own status? That is right, it is said that her mother was having an affair since she was little. Like mother, like daughter, both are shameless. Ziya spoke up, "I am the Huo family's designated young mistress. What is she?" Jin Huan's hand, which was stirring the coffee, suddenly stopped. Now she's probably gone to see the King of Hell. Another person stuttered and asked, See the King of Hell." Ziya asked unhappily, "What?" The other person coughed and replied, "It is nothing. A bitch like her deserves to die." The people around immediately echoed, their voices full of sarcasm. That is right, she pollutes the air when she is alive, and pollutes the land when she is dead. The whole table burst into laughter, and the sound of dishes clinked softly. Ziya stood up and said indifferently, "I am going to the restroom for a bit." The person next to her replied vaguely, while chewing on a pastry. A girl leaned over slightly, her voice full of insinuation. "What do you guys think? Could Ziya have already taken care of that Sue girl?" The person sitting next to her immediately lowered her voice and whispered, "In the past, there were also a few female students who confessed to young Master Huo, but then they disappeared from the face of the earth." Su Jin Huan stood up and followed Ziya, her figure quickly disappearing behind the door. Inside the restroom, the sound of flushing water echoed. Ziya happily hummed a tune. As she reapplied her lipstick, suddenly someone grabbed her hair forcefully. A scream rang out, and Jin Huan coldly pulled hard, as if she wanted to tear the hair from her scalp. Ziya's whole body was pressed straight into the cold water, and white foam flew everywhere. "Help!" The cry choked in her throat as her hair was held tightly. Ziya's head was pressed deep into the water, and bursts of air bubbles broke out in heavy glug-glug sounds. Her hands struggled desperately, but they grew weaker and weaker. Jinhwan's hand suddenly released, and her fingers slid off Ziya's soaking wet hair. Ziya coughed violently, and mouthfuls of water poured out of her mouth. Her breath was rapid, mixed with coughs, and her eyes were tightly shut in horror. As soon as Ziya looked up, she glared furiously, her breath still rapid. Water droplets still clung to her face, dripping down with each tremor. Behind her, Jinhwan stood still, her eyes as cold as a knife pressed against her throat. Jinhwan's hand suddenly grabbed Ziya's hair, pulling it back sharply. Her cold voice rang out, word by word, "How does it feel to almost drown?" Jinhwan said with hatred, each word like a knife cutting deep into the fear that was rising in Ziya's eyes. "I almost drowned in the sea. Luckily, I have a big life and did not die. Heaven told me to come back and find you for revenge." Ziya cried with tears streaming down her face, screaming in fear, her voice hoarse but still trying to growl like a beast cornered. "You dare do this to me, I will cut you into 100 pieces. I will make sure you do not die a peaceful death." Su Jinhwan laughed coldly. "I almost died once, so I am not afraid of anything anymore. But you, the precious young lady from a wealthy family." Lin Ziya trembled in panic, her pale lips moving, but unable to utter a word. Jinhwan grabbed Ziya's head, which was still in shock, and slammed it hard against the wall. Her icy voice echoed throughout the space. She said angrily, "Before you kill me, you should worry about your own life and death first." Ziya's body fell heavily to the ground. Jinhwan grabbed her hair and dragged her away, with only the sound of high heels clicking on the floor. She only let Ziya go when they reached a toilet stall. Su Jinhwan took out her phone and snapped a few pictures of Ziya lying unconscious on the floor, saying with disgust, "No matter what your status is, once you fall into my hands, you still want to be arrogant." Stepping outside, she thought, "Before coming here, I sent a message to Huo Xiaoqian, using Su Qingwan's name to ask him out. He is probably arriving soon." Walking a short distance, she saw the figure of someone standing there. "It is Xiaoqian," Jinhwan continued to think. "He is here. He is probably looking for Su Qingwan." The corners of her lips curled slightly. She walked closer and opened her mouth. "Xiaoqian, hello, do you still remember me? I am Su Jinhwan, Qingwan's half-sister. I am the one who asked you out this time." Xiaoqian realized that this was not the person he was looking for and replied disappointedly, "It is you. What do you want from me?" Su Jinhwan sighed and replied, "You agreed to donate bone marrow before. The suitable person is my younger brother." She looked at him with pleading eyes, full of worry. "I beg you, do not change your mind because of what others say." Xiaoqian said in surprise, "I never heard Qingwan say that she has a younger brother." Jinhwan said anxiously, "She and I are half-sisters. That younger brother is only my younger brother. He has no blood relationship with Qingwan. If you change your mind, he really won't live much longer." Xiaoqian's heart wavered, and his eyes showed a flash of conflict, but thinking of what Su Qingwan had said, he finally remained firm and refused her. "I am sorry. I promised Qingwan already. She said that if I save that boy, she won't be with me anymore." Xiaoqian turned to leave. "I am sorry." Jinhwan panicked and stopped him. No, young Master Huo." Her trembling voice echoed in the air as if clinging to a last glimmer of hope. Suddenly, a large hand grabbed her arm. She was surprised. Turning her head, she saw a tall, familiar, and extremely handsome figure. Xiaoqian looked at the man and exclaimed in shock, "Li Qin." He nodded slightly and continued walking, leaving only one sentence, "I have something to do, I will go first." Jinhwan raised her hand anxiously. "Wait." The person had disappeared from sight. She said helplessly, "It is over." Li Chen grabbed Jinhwan's hand and dragged her away. She tried to struggle, but to no avail, only able to say, "Let go, do not touch me. Why did you appear at this time?" Li Chen turned to look directly at Jinhwan and asked, "Don't let me touch you." His face darkened, and his eyes were cold. "Then who do you want to touch you?" Jinhwan retorted irritably. "You are too unreasonable. I do not want to talk to you anymore." Suddenly, that large hand was placed behind her head. His hand tightened around her nape, pulling her into a kiss so forceful that it took her breath away. Jinhwan's eyes widened, and her heart beat wildly as his hot breath enveloped her. She struggled slightly, but was only held tighter. The overwhelming feeling made her whole body tremble. Jin Hwan's eyes widened, her cheeks burning. Is he crazy, doing this in public? Her heart was beating wildly. She suddenly mustered all her strength and pushed hard against his chest, a decisive move as if wanting to escape the burning embrace that was holding her tightly. Although pushed away, Lai Chen did not budge. His strong arms tightened again, pulling Jin Hwan closer. His hot breath enveloped her, making her tremble. Her heart beat wildly in his inescapable embrace. A group of people walked past, their curious eyes lingering. Isn't that young Master Huo? Oh my god, he is actually kissing a girl in front of so many people. Jin Hwan froze, while Lai Chen remained calm as if he did not care. Jin Hwan gasped, placing her hands on Lai Chen's chest and trying to pull away. Her heart was beating wildly as his warm breath brushed against her skin. In the distance, voices could be heard calling out to each other. Zia still has not come back. Let us go into the restroom to find her. Ha! Jin Hwan pushed him away shyly. Everyone's looking. Let me go. Lai Chen looked at her and chuckled softly. That large hand suddenly wrapped around her legs. Lifted up unexpectedly, she did not have time to react and cried out. She asked, "What are you doing, Hu Li Chen?" "Put me down." He continued walking, the sound of leather shoes clicking on the ground. Jin Hwan said shyly. Her face flushed. "Aren't you just making people laugh even more?" The sound of a car door opening and closing with a bang. Lai Chen replied, "If you keep messing around." He continued, "I will let them see something even more stimulating." Jin Hwan screamed inwardly but could not do anything. "Very well, consider yourself powerful." The group of people who had just found Zia and were helping her out of the restroom happened to see Su Jin Hwan sitting in the car with Lai Chen. The group of people exclaimed, "There she is." Zia looked directly at Jin Hwan and hissed, word by word, "Su, Jin, Hwan." Jin Hwan looked at her with a provocative look and placed her hand on Lai Chen's shoulder. She snorted. Zia trembled, gritting her teeth in anger. That damned woman, what is she relying on to compete with me? The humiliation of today, I will pay it back 100-fold. Jin Hwan shook the phone containing the pictures of her being beaten in the restroom, thinking, if you dare to provoke me, you have to be prepared for my revenge. I still have a bunch of embarrassing pictures and videos in my hands. When the time comes, let us see who is more embarrassed. That luxurious car started and arrogantly drove away. Sitting in the car, Jin Hwan thought, it really lives up to its name as a limousine. It even has a soundproof system in the back. While she was thinking, Lai Chen's warm hand was placed on her face and he asked, "What are you looking at?" He continued to ask with a serious face, "Am I not handsome?" Jin Hwan was flustered, turning away with a red face. "What are you talking about?" Lai Chen smiled, looking down at the shy girl in front of him and calling out, "Su Jin Hwan." He leaned close to her ear and whispered, his warm breath making Jin Hwan's ears turn red. Hearing this, Jin Hwan exclaimed in surprise, "No way." Lai Chen grabbed her chin and asked, "Not allowed." His eyes slowly looked down at her full lips, and his hand gently touched them, not using hands then. He hesitated. Then he continued, "There are still better options." Jin Hwan glared at him and said, "Huo Li Chen, you are really an animal." He grabbed her small hand and said, "If I was really an animal, I would not have endured you for so long." The luxurious limousine slowly rolled down the road. Heavy breathing was heard in the car. Lai Chen thoughtfully took out a tissue to wipe her hands. Both of their faces were flushed. Jin Hwan said, "The car is driving slower and slower. Assistant Shen will definitely look down on me." Lai Chen took her hand and kissed it. He would not dare. Meanwhile, in the driver's seat, although there was soundproofing, Assistant Shen could still hear what the two of them were doing. He could only helplessly think, this master is really Redena. His kidney function is too good. I have circled the hospital twice, and it is still not over. Jin Hwan suddenly remembered, weren't you going home? Why did you suddenly run to the cafe? Lai Chen pinched her cheek and replied, you still dare to ask, not obediently resting in the hospital. Your skin is itching for a beating, is not it? He thought to himself, as soon as I got home, the old man gave me a lecture. Before I could finish listening, I got a call from the nurse saying that Su Jin Hwan was missing. I bet the old man was furious when I left. And this heartless girl even dares to ask me why I came here. Lai Chen seriously asked her, so what exactly is going on between you and my brother? I want to hear you explain. Jin Hwan replied, Huo Li Chen, this is my personal matter. I do not want to bother others with my affairs. She continued seriously, "But I guarantee there is nothing shady between me and your brother." He said, "Su Jinhuan, I have said it before, your business is my business, your needs are my needs. You should not be afraid of bothering me." She shyly pushed away his large hand. "I have not forgotten what you once said. I do not agree to be your secret lover." Lai Chen's eyes softened and he frowned. "You women are so troublesome. It has been so long and you are still holding a grudge. Your heart is even smaller than a needle hole." Su Jinhuan crossed her arms and pouted, acting annoyed. "You dog of a man." The car suddenly braked sharply. Jinhuan did not have time to react. She cried out, and her head hit the car window with a thud. Lai Chen quickly supported her waist. Lai Chen's voice was stern as he shouted, "Chen Yingji, what are you doing?" Assistant Shen flustered, his face worried as he replied, "Master, I am sorry. A dog suddenly ran onto the road just now." Lai Chen angrily scolded, "Assistant Shen, what are you circling around the hospital for? Quickly find a parking space." Assistant Shen replied awkwardly, "Yes, yes, yes." The car parked in a parking space. Lai Chen picked up Jinhuan and walked quickly forward. "Rest properly, don't run around without worrying about your health." At the same time, Ling Li was at the hospital, walking quickly, her eyes looking around as if searching for someone. Suddenly, Ling Li tripped over a stone, staggering, as if about to fall, accidentally bumping into Yingji's arms. Looking up and seeing Yingji, she was as happy as if she had found a savior. "Assistant Shen, what a coincidence, it is you, how wonderful." Yingji looked at her in confusion and replied coldly, "What coincidence? I do not know you. Let go of me." Ling Li laughed loudly, deliberately saying loudly, "Assistant Shen is really famous for being forgetful. I am Wu Ling Li. The other day at the cafe, you asked me to pretend to be pregnant to expose that scumbag during the blind date. We cooperated very well." Jinhuan recognized the familiar voice, and she struggled in Lai Chen's arms. Wait a minute." Jinhuan got down. "So it is you." She put her hands on her hips and walked towards Ling Li, the girl who pretended to be pregnant and slandered me for stealing someone else's husband. Jinhuan turned back irritably and pointed at Lai Chen, who was calmly relaxed. "No wonder my blind dates kept failing. It turns out you were sabotaging me. If you had not interfered, I would have registered for marriage already." Lai Chen looked down at Jinhuan, smiling noncommittally, coldly, but with a gentle tone. "Are you angry?" Jinhuan blushed and looked at Lai Chen, who was now looking at her with his arms crossed, and said with a somewhat reproachful tone, "My blind date partners were all scumbags. I did that to save you from the fire pit." Jinhuan raised her index finger, wanting to retort Lai Chen's reasoning, "So I still have to thank you." Lai Chen was still complacent. "That is what I should do." Jinhuan became annoyed, and she stepped forward and punched Lai Chen's chest. "You are really a domineering, stinky man. That day at the cafe, I was scolded by a shameless pregnant woman for seducing a married man. How are you going to compensate me for my mental damage?" Lai Chen grabbed Jinhuan's wrist possessively. "I do not care." He pulled her closer possessively. "You are mine. Don't even dream of me watching you go on blind dates with those good-for-nothings." Suddenly, a group of tall, burly men ran over, pointing at Ling Li and shouting, "She is here, that little brat. See where you can run now. Pay back the money. If you do not pay, you will have to sell yourself." Ling Li hurriedly grabbed Yingji's arm, hugging it tightly, her eyes still on the approaching group. "Assistant Yingji of young Master Huo's family is my boyfriend. If you bully me, you are bullying him, and bullying him is touching the Huo family." Lai Chen instinctively protected Jinhuan in his arms when Ling Li suddenly pointed at them. "Young Master Huo is here, you better think carefully." Yingji hurriedly pushed Ling Li away, saying awkwardly, "What nonsense are you talking about in front of my boss? I do not know you at all." Ling Li shouted in panic, "Shen Yingji, you are just watching me die. You are not a man." The group of people had reached behind Ling Li, and the leader cracked his knuckles. "Haha, you can't escape this time." Suddenly a shout rang out, "Wait!" Jinhuan and Lai Chen stepped forward to shield Ling Li. Jinhuan said loudly, "This woman dared to steal my man, and she made me lose face. I must avenge this. Do you also want to compete with me for a man?" The leader of the group took a step back, confused. One of his subordinates recognized Lai Chen and whispered to his boss, "Boss, let us just drop it. Young Master Huo is over there." The leader took a few steps back, waving his hand at Jinhuan. "We are just lackeys collecting debts. If you want this girl, just take her. Don't be polite. We are leaving." Ling Li was about to sneak away when a hand pulled her back. Yingji stood behind her with a gloomy smile. "Want to run? You have caused me misery." Ling Li hurriedly explained to Jin Huan in a panic. Miss Su, it was not my fault last time. He paid me to put on an act, go after the one who is really responsible. She bent down and looked at Jin Huan pleadingly, trying to explain, but my ex-boyfriend really is a scumbag. He leeches off women and beats them. I am definitely not lying to you. If you are really angry, just beat me up to vent your anger. Oh, Jin Huan stepped forward and stood opposite Ling Li. She raised her hand high, smiling with some contempt. You asked for it. Ling Li stood still. She closed her eyes tightly, but the pain from the slap did not come. Instead, she felt her cheek being pinched lightly. Ling Li opened her eyes wide in surprise. She saw Jin Huan smiling happily, waving her hand. All right, you can go. If it was not for you exposing that scum, I am afraid I would have registered to marry him already. Suddenly, an arm wrapped around Jin Huan's waist, and a warm voice sounded in her ear, Su Jin Huan. When she looked up, Lai Chen's handsome face came into view. Are you still thinking of getting married? Lai Chen turned Jin Huan around. Let us go. You should go back and rest. Jin Huan spoke up dissatisfiedly. I have not finished talking yet. Huo Lie Chen. But her feet still followed Lie Chen. Suddenly the phone rang. Jin Huan struggled. I have a phone call. Let go of me. The nurse's name appeared on the screen. Jin Huan was a little uneasy. This is Zhao Yuan's nurse. She raised the phone to her ear to listen, her voice a little shaky. Hello, Nurse Ning. Nurse Ning stood in the ward and she hurriedly spoke quickly. Miss Su, Xiao Yuan's condition suddenly deteriorated. He is now being resuscitated in the operating room. There is a possibility that his life is in danger. Please come to the hospital immediately. Jin Huan felt as if she had been struck by lightning, and she unconsciously shouted loudly, What? Jin Huan struggled out of Lai Chen's arms, and she ran towards the door, anxiously. I am coming right away. Quickly arriving at the surgery room, the red light with the words operating lit up. Jin Huan ran up anxiously, and Nurse Ning, seeing her, said, Miss Su is here. She asked, Nurse Ning, how is my brother? Nurse Ning replied, the doctor is still performing surgery on Xiao Yuan. Nurse Ning was reluctant to say, yesterday Xiao Yuan started to seem listless. Today the complications suddenly broke out at the same time, and his will to live is also very weak. Hearing this, Jin Huan swayed unsteadily, and Lai Chen supported her. How did it turn out like this? Zhao Yuan has always been strong and optimistic. Why suddenly? Nurse Ning told her the whole story. Yesterday morning, a woman came here. She said she was her sister, came to visit Zhao Yuan, and left immediately. Jin Huan was surprised, immediately realizing that the person was Su Qingwan. She was extremely distraught. She clearly knows that Xiao Yuan is my bottom line. If something happens to Xiao Yuan, I will definitely not let her go. Nurse Ning said anxiously, the most important thing now is to let Xiao Yuan regain his faith and will to live. Jin Huan grabbed Nurse Ning's hand and said, I understand. Thank you, Nurse Ning. Nurse Ning replied immediately, no need to thank me, Miss Su. The sound of high heels echoed in the hospital corridor, and Jin Huan stepped away slightly. She immediately dialed Su Qingwan's number, and the phone rang, beep, 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 beep. The other end of the line picked up, hello. Jin Huan said coldly, Su Qingwan, what did you say to Xiao Yuan? If something happens to him, I will risk my life and bury you with him. Qingwan's face showed no remorse. Instead, she replied with contempt, I just told the truth. Didn't you once have to go to nightclubs to sell your beauty in order to raise money for his treatment? Jin Huan was furious, her voice like she wanted to kill someone through the phone. Su Qingwan, are you looking for death? Tears welled up in her eyes. Tears of anger and hatred. No wonder. Xiao Yuan. She swayed, dizzy, and almost fell, exclaiming, Xiao Yuan! The other end of the line beeped. Qingwan had hung up. A large hand supported her weak body. Lai Chen pulled gently, supporting her into his arms. Don't be afraid, Su Jin Huan. Believe in your brother. He will definitely be fine. His hand intertwined tightly with hers, as if to give her a sense of security. He said, I will be here waiting with you. Jin Huan cried, burying her face in Lai Chen's arms, and replied, The light in the operating room went off, and it seemed the surgery was over. Jin Huan anxiously ran in front of the doctor and asked, Doctor, how is my brother? Xiao Yuan was wheeled out on a bed. The doctor said, the rescue was successful, but the patient's will to live is very weak, and he is currently still in a coma. Family members should frequently call out to him by his ear. The doctor continued, Miss Su, you probably also know that the patient's condition is getting worse and worse. I estimate that he may only have less than half a year left. Jin Huan trembled. Her face darkened, covered her mouth and cried, calling out, Xiaoyuan. Lai Chen supported the trembling Jin Huan, and he asked the doctor, Is there no other way? The doctor replied helplessly, Other than finding a matching bone marrow, there is no other way. In the special care unit, the sound of machines beeped, and a voice echoed in the air, Xiaoyuan, how could you believe her? Jin Huan sat beside the bed, holding her brother's hand tightly. Every penny that your sister earns is clean. Your sister has tried to take care of herself so well. Why did you give up on life so easily? She trembled and closed her eyes tightly, bursting into sobs. Since Mom passed away, you are the only family I have left. How can you bear to leave me alone? Lai Chen's hand gently placed on Su Jin Huan's shoulder to comfort her. She thought, Before, even when pushed to the wall, I never agreed to sell my life for money. Seeing her so sad, he also felt very uncomfortable, and he felt heartache for her, but did not know what to say. He could only say in his heart, Su Jin Huan, how have you been carrying everything alone all these years? Li Chen suddenly spoke, Xiaoyuan. He continued, Do you think death is the end? You are only making your sister hurt more. Lai Chen frowned, his eyes revealing seriousness. Even if it is just for your sister, you have to try to get through this. Jin Huan could not hold back her tears, trembling as she said, Xiaoyuan, Su Qingwan's words are all lies. If you believe her, then you have fallen into her trap. She grabbed the boy's hand tightly. Xiaoyuan, wake up quickly. Suddenly, the boy's finger twitched slightly. Jin Huan exclaimed happily, Xiaoyuan. Xiaoyuan's hand just moved. Xiaoyuan frowned, revealing pain after just having surgery. The boy opened his eyes, his voice weak and difficult. Sister. Jin Huan, seeing her brother had woken up, was so happy that she burst into tears. She said emotionally, Xiaoyuan, I am here. Xiaoyuan was confused when he saw his sister crying, and he asked, Sister, why are you crying like a tabby cat? Jin Huan smiled, You brat, you are teasing your sister as soon as you wake up. She followed her brother's gaze, only remembering the man standing behind her. Huh? Xiaoyuan asked, Who is he to you? Jin Huan embarrassedly flusteredly jumped up to explain, What do you mean? Who is he to me? He is. Lai Chen quickly put his arm around Jin Huan's shoulder and introduced himself. Hello, Xiaoyuan. He smiled confidently, saying, My name is Huo Li Chen. I am currently your sister's boyfriend. If your sister agrees, I will become her husband very soon. You can call me brother-in-law. Jin Huan blushed and lightly bumped into him, saying awkwardly, When did I give you a title? Lai Chen unexpectedly said, What do you mean by that, Su Jin Huan? Are you planning to sleep with me and then run away? Jin Huan's face was as red as a tomato as she hit him, saying, Oh my god, why are you talking about these things in front of children? Xiaoyuan lay on the hospital bed, looking at the two people bickering. He curiously asked his sister, Sister, I saw on TV that only husbands and wives sleep together. You and brother-in-law sleep together? So are you two already married? Lai Chen wrapped his arms around Jin Huan's waist, pulling her into his arms. Even Xiaoyuan knows that only husbands and wives are allowed to sleep together. Do you still want to shirk responsibility? He leaned close to her ear and whispered, That night, we fought hard until morning, without using any contraception. The more Lai Chen said, the more embarrassed Jin Huan became. Who knows, maybe we already have our baby. Enough, do not say any more. After that, he turned around and said seriously to the boy, Xiaoyuan, with me protecting your sister, you just focus on recovering. However, Xiaoyuan was still worried. Lai Chen gently stroked the boy's hair. You definitely can't be absent from our wedding. Xiaoyuan tried to reply, Yes. Jin Huan lowered her head, her voice gentle. Xiaoyuan, I will never leave you, and do not give up, okay? The boy replied wearily, Yes, I won't make you sad anymore. Seeing Xiaoyuan's tiredness, he turned around and said, Xiaoyuan just woke up and needs to rest. Well, let us go back first. She was still hesitant, but seeing this, the boy spoke to reassure her. Go back, do not worry about me. Finally, Jin Huan had to leave. Then you rest. Well, I will come again tomorrow. The door to the ward closed. Xiaoyuan's face became extremely heavy. The boy looked at his arm, which was full of needle marks, his mood extremely complicated. Even if I get through this hurdle today, I probably do not have many days left. Xiaoyuan imagined Jin Huan in a wedding dress. Sister, I do not want to die either. I want to attend your wedding. I want to see your baby born. The boy felt extremely guilty. But me living is really too much of a burden for you. 2 lines of tears began to fall from Xiao Yuan's eyes. "Sister, you must be happy." At night, at the hospital, Jin Huan walked, but her heart was still uneasy. Suddenly she squatted down. Unable to restrain herself, Jin Huan sobbed, "Xiao Yuan! Xiao Yuan!" Seeing this, Li Chen worriedly hugged her, Su Jinhuan. He gently helped Jin Huan stand up. Using his warmth, Li Chen softly comforted, "This road is not at the end yet, why are you crying?" Nested in his arms, Jin Huan's tears continued to fall. Li Chen gently lowered his head and kissed her head lightly. Receiving that warmth, she gripped his clothes tightly, and her spirit began to stabilize. "That is right." Jin Huan looked up, saying resolutely, "I still have revenge to take. Now is not the time to cry." In her heart, she silently pointed out, "Sukniangguan, do not think that I will let you go